Welcome back, everybody. We got ourselves a nice little finals here. Greg Shaw versus Brian Fred. B. Fred going with ISB, Shaw starting with Prophet. The reverse match is going to be Revenge of the Sith Vader versus Old Allies. What do you think, Garrett?
Um, I don't know. Like, I think ISB's probably advantaged against Profit, but Brian's going to have to avoid the beatdown.
I mean, it's
And
kind of nice that he's playing Imperial Rest Order, so that's going to protect against the neighboring.
yeah, and as long as he's got Decree Virtual in there, I think he'll be okay. And the flip is ISB is no longer just a bunch of little weenies. Like, Greg's got to be a little worried about a beatdown as well, because ISB can throw
Yeah.
a lot of guys at you for not a lot of force.
And then it has the card now, Dark Collaboration V. If you have three non-Ozzel ISB leaders in a battle, you get to draw an initial to two Destiny.
Yep.
And it looks like right now in the consolation, the top tables are Pat Johnson against Benji Chu, Wayne Cullen against Chris Kelly, Ryan Jelson against Chris Gogolin. So Gogolin lost in the first round and just was like, I'm going to go play the consolation now.
That would explain why Constellation had a bye in the first round and not after that, which
Yeah.
might have also been a hey, I can jump in and stop the bye.
Yeah. Which I
Which
think is fine. I got
yeah,
no problem against that.
I would not be okay with someone jumping in and creating a bye, but jumping in to make sure everybody gets to play is always good.
Now, I will say Chris shouldn't win anything.
Whatever. He took a I mean, he took a loss in game one, so
Oh, he
he's
took
gonna
a loss in game one?
struggle.
Okay. If he
I'm
took a
sure.
loss oh yeah, that makes sense. If he took a loss in game one, that's fine.
All right, so we got Phil active judging, coming to sit and hang with Brian.
Brian needs all the company
Brian's
he can get.
Brian looks like he's got a decent little hand.
Yeah.
So he's got arrest order, established control. That is an amazingly well designed card.
I
And
don't
are we
know. Like
running enforcement?
I feel like the guy who designed it missed the intent of the card and it could have been a lot better.
No, the guy who designed it had a very specific intent for the card and was very happy to design it. The guy who designed it really loved mobilization points in that era and wanted to sort of balance because mobilization points is a little crazy at times
Is
and
it
wanted to
though?
balance it a little bit. Yeah.
Is it?
Having played a bunch of it in retro, yeah.
I mean, I will
Both
say
points
this,
is a
like
little silly.
it's not the it's an okay card. Would it be if it was out of the meta, would I be fine? Yeah. I wouldn't be heartbroken. Like if say, I don't know, the better designed and more used and more friendly version of Tarkin's Bounty was lost from the meta.
Yeah, I knew you were going to mention Tarkin's Bounty. No one likes Tarkin's Bounty.
B. Fred
So,
likes it.
whatever.
Hey,
B. Fred likes the Buffalo Bills. He does not like winners. So,
this is the guy who likes the Minnesota Vikings.
hey. So, Brian going in and getting the docking bay. I got to assume we're going to see the court. He's going to grab Coruscant. Like, yeah, you don't give away force.
Nope,
Grabs
there's a
Fondor with.
Fondor.
JNAP is apparently surprised we're burning each other here. Like, this doesn't normally
Yeah, I know.
happen. This
I just
is
hope Jared is home safe and he's done driving and texting. I mean, I know that's a Philadelphia thing where you want to drive and text at the same time, but other
I've been
people,
watching Parking Wars every once in a while because it kicks up on one of those garbage TV channels, and they do the Philadelphia Parking Authority. And I always like, I wonder if I'm going to see Jared get his car booted because he's going to be that guy that runs out of the, runs out of his row house shirtless with a beer, screaming at the booters when they're like, it's 9 a.m. Why is this guy drunk? I just wonder if that's going to be JNAP one day.
I cannot see JNAP doing that. Like he's got a family
I know,
and he's not from Minnesota.
but the mental image would be hilarious.
Why do you want to see a mental image of JNAP without a shirt?
JNAP shirtless, drunk at 9 a.m., yelling at a parking authority person. That just sounds fun. So Brian drops his free Emperor, just,
Why not?
get his start, and I'm assuming we'll just see a couple cards picked up, and
It's possible.
yeah. But wait till he can go up.
No, but the deck that Brian Fred is playing, his light side deck really drives with Jared's new advocate title.
I didn't know Jared's new advocate title was doesn't get drunk and yell at parking authorities.
Plus, his new title doesn't take over until October.
I mean, I'm glad I didn't know the advocate for teetotaling was not open for, not that I'd have applied for it or anything, but like, I don't think that advocate job happens.
Okay, so yeah, with the free Emperor out again, I said it before.
And
I'll
then
say
moved him over to the docking bay to get the
the extra bonus.
+2 activation.
Makes sense. But again, Greg playing a very blinged out version of Prophet. He's got the speak, the horizontal speak. Again, his solo, his Han is the solo AI, for those who are wondering. See him going to get a antechamber.
I'm a little offended Brian's Imperial Arrest Order doesn't look like maybe it's autographed. It doesn't necessarily look like it is. That feels like a miss. That's certainly a common enough played card. I would have expected he'd have an autographed copy by now.
Honestly, I think Brian Fred is like losing his interest in autographed cards at this point. Like if you notice, none of his other cards are autographed.
Well, his grabber is.
Yeah, but I mean that's like everybody knows what the grabber looks like. At least with these ones, it's like gives you a little bit of a like.
And I can kind of understand the Palpatine, as Brian does still, do a lot of card sales. And maybe if he needs to sell a Palpatine, he's got one that's in, that's playable he can do. But like Arrest Order, it's not like you're selling an Arrest Order.
Well, this is a foil one.
Get that autograph. Well, he's not running a foil one though. Can you get that autographed?
I don't know. Can you tell? Can you tell that it's not foil?
Yeah, it doesn't have any glare. It doesn't have any shine to it. That's not foil.
Okay, there's
That's just
plans.
a plain old one.
Okay, there's the new Bouch. How are you pronounce her name coming out?
Bosch. Leia.
Undercover Leia, who's not undercover.
And who gets a gun with the new Prophet themed objective or effect, excuse me.
So Leia is not going to be able to battle until her next turn.
Leia can participate in a battle this turn.
No. So if deployed to same site as a frozen Han, which she currently is,
okay,
Leia may not battle until your next turn. So even if B Fred comes down with like a bunch of ISB characters, Leia's gonna be safe.
All right, interesting.
So, and then what's the new? I forget what the title is of the new Prophet effect.
Oh no, it looks like Ultimatum.
Yeah.
Here, it's
Jabba's last set. Thank you, Jared.
As I say, game text contains it's gonna be like Leia, Chewie.
Yeah, if Han is frozen, you get to deploy it on table. Chewie, Lando, and Leia are immune to attrition less than 4. Once per turn, may deploy a unique character weapon once per game. If R2 in battle, may exchange a card in hand with a card in your reserve deck. So kind of like that Boba Fett Cloud City version. Not a bad design card.
Careful not to end up deploying Leia's gun onto someone else. Yeah, Leia's gun actually it's not like a lightsaber. You can deploy it on any warrior.
And there's
all right, so Brian missed a pull on something.
Yeah, there's Vader's castle.
What is he using to pull Vader's castle?
I think he got it from his hand.
No, that was out of his reserve. Because like he paid 1.
Oh, Fanny.
Okay. Oh, so
So he
you put
gets the
down
yeah, he got the
Mustafar
docking bay, deployed Vandy to the docking bay for
for
one,
one, and
and then
then
used
used the
Vandy's game
docking
text
bay.
to get the castle. And unfortunately, it is not the full art nice image of the castle. It is just your generic castle. I have lost so much respect for Brian Fred. Go Greg Shaw. Kick the crap out of this non-pretty non
I mean,
my deck pretty person.
considering how aggressively Beefred goes after all the different PC foils and has the full set of PC deck boxes and stuff that
Doesn't
really
matter.
should have been that should be a full art castle. Yeah,
Yeah.
James, I mean they're playing a little fast, but at the same time they've got an active judge. We don't have the volume. So it's very possible Brian was like, hey, I'm going to deploy a docking bay. Didn't see one and said, hey, by the way, I'm going to deploy Vane, grab me Vader's castle.
Yeah.
And just the stuff you can't do and can't move that quickly on Gemp, that does happen in online, in-person play.
There's
Where you're just like, hey, I'm going to grab 7 cards and see what happens.
battle order coming out from Brian Fred as he has the Mara Jade in the VT Decimator coming out to Fondor.
And that looks like a shiny battle order.
It is.
The shiny
It's also
slip with a
autographed.
shiny under that's autographed. I like it.
Yeah, why aren't the rest of Brian Fred's cards shiny?
Yeah,
Pretty.
it's. I'm questioning Brian now. There should be
And
much more shiny than there is.
I mean, as you said, he's a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm surprised you're not questioning him more.
I mean, as a Bills fan, he's unaware of, what shiny things like rings look like. So, like, maybe that makes a little more sense. But still, I think he should go. He should be shining it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he can
So
get out of this.
Greg does pop the objective and release Han from his frozen prison.
And he's
So
not
now
going to
he's going
pay
to be able
5
to,
to retrieve 1.
yeah. He does do a ping damage of
Of
2.
1. Why is it 2? I
So it's 1 for the objective. Does he have
oh,
a good blaster at your side out?
not that I saw. That's what I'm wondering. Maybe he paid to drain.
He did look like he paid to drain, but Beefred lost 3.
Mm,
And there's
yeah.
Han's blaster coming out.
Hmm.
And this is where I'm glad we have an active judge because I can ping Phil and be like, hey, Phil, help me out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the extra
And
loss
again,
was.
Greg is going right into the no zone.
And maybe that was, did Greg put a good blaster
I'm
and we
thinking,
just didn't see it? Because, yeah, profit should have been 1 because it's
yeah,
not per character, it's per site.
Greg wearing the Outrider Cup hoodie, but looks like he's taking it off.
It's getting a little hot in there.
I mean, yeah, he's
He's singing his inner
across.
Nelly.
I was gonna say he's across the table from Brian Fred. Are you not surprised?
Yeah. Brian Fred's not even wearing sleeves.
He never does.
He does not.
I don't think Brian Fred owns a shirt with sleeves.
Shirts with sleeves are overrated. All right, now we're
Except
all
they're
looking
looking.
up Han's gun.
Yeah, it's the incorrect game text on the gun. It looks like
Oh, is there like an old?
it's possible.
I don't think there was an old version that was like here lose force.
Yeah. See that Greg has R2 in his hand.
Ryan doesn't wear a lot of football jerseys. He does occasionally, but looks like
Yeah,
we got some. Maybe we're getting a new V slip printed out.
looks like it. Yeah. Okay, so according to Phil, Greg has out seeking an audience non-V. I must be allowed to speak V, which is the horizontal card. Jabba's last chance and a good blaster at your side. So he does have that one out. So
Okay,
that's
so he
hence
did have a
why
good
there was the
blaster out.
hence why Brian lost 3 cards there.
Okay. I did not know we didn't see the good blaster. And it looks like, yeah, we're waiting for a current V slip for Hans gun, I guess.
And I'm just telling Phil that Greg has to lose 5 here to putting cards into the no-go box. There you go. Phil is on the
There we
Phil is
are. Yeah.
money.
This is why we have active judges like Phil who are, on top of this stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna say, did Chris have to run over to Kinko's to print out this V-slip?
He might have had to run down to I know at the Eclipse event, I ended up printing out like 3 or 4 V slips at their business center real quick because I thought I had them and realized I had wrong ones or something.
Yeah.
So like I can see that.
That's when you gotta just tell your teammates, be like, hey, make sure you guys bring the right slips for me.
Pretty sure I was the one bringing stuff for people.
Yeah.
I brought a lot of cards to that indie event.
I tried to, but nobody wanted me to. But then again, I was also bringing Chris Kelly and Justin Caroli, who are both took up a lot of space in my car.
Yeah, see,
Otherwise, I would have brought my entire collection.
I just drove me and AJ, and we loaded up the back of the SUV with a bunch of boxes of cards, and then I grabbed a cart to bring everything in because I also had like a case of water and some other stuff from Costco. I've said it before, but the case of water is a huge huge Costco thing for going to big events like that. Just having that, the case of water and maybe some granola bars or something.
Yeah.
AJ asked for unsalted nuts, which are intensely boring and were an immediate no on car snacking food.
That's when you just throw AJ out of the car on the highway.
Well, he asked for it in advance, and I was just like, no.
So Master Luke coming down to the audience chamber as well. It looks like Greg's just going to draw some cards. So let's see what B Fred's going to do here. Again, battle order is on the table. So B Fred wants to drain for 1 at Fondor. He's going to have to pay 3 here.
Yeah, and I don't know that B Fred's necessarily going to be draining.
No, I don't think so.
And I think Greg is doing all I can do is make sure I don't just get accidentally jumped by ISB for $500,000 type thing. So he's playing it cautiously as well.
The fact that he's got Leia's gun helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Han's gun also is pretty good. I mean, Leia's gun's going to protect, like, the main target here is going to be Tarkin, obviously. Granted,
Yeah.
you can, as long as Tarkin is with 2 other ISB agents, B Fred's going to be able to cancel a Destiny. I don't necessarily think that he's going to risk coming down with Tarkin to do that. I think the plan for him is to drop some ISB characters to the farm, reduce the drain at the audience chamber, and just deal with the pings as much as you can.
Yep, that's exactly the play.
Does look like B Fred went ahead and drained for one at Fondor though.
Okay. But yeah, like Brian, the play is, yeah, load up the farm with a couple ISB agents, get your 4, get yourself flipped, say you're draining for none, you ping me for 1 or 2, and that's it.
Yeah, and then once you're flipped, you can start retrieving with your objective. So it's not like Beefred should have a good strategy here, and I think he's going
Yeah,
to
I
eventually.
do think Beefred is somewhat advantaged in this matchup. How fully functional was Guri in the Shadows novels? It's been at least 30 years since I read that book, but I believe she was functional. And Greg or Brian putting down the Spaceport Docking Bay, is he thinking about throwing it at Tatooine? I don't
Either
actually like
Tatooine or
that.
Fondor.
Yeah, and I think he's got to decide which one. I don't think I want it at Tatooine.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Like, I think you have enough at Tatooine. You've got the sites at Tatooine. You don't need to
Yeah.
put that. Although putting it at Fondor doesn't necessarily change anything. Like, you put it at Tatooine,
Hmm.
you can get the activation boost when you throw and fill it full of guys there. So maybe it's Brian's world. We just live in it. Let's see what he does here.
I mean, there's a reason why Brian Fred is in the top 8. We're at home, not in the top 8.
Brian's in the top 2. Like,
That's so.
he's even better than just the top 8. Like,
Okay, as we see Officer Evacs coming out to the farm.
so I don't understand not putting them at the. Given that the farm has the drain reduction,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're going to put Vader there or a trooper.
I think Brian has some troopers in
He
his hand.
does. Yeah, he's got the garrison.
Yeah. Asian Cal's coming down, so
So Brian gets to get a card.
Mithra, he took Mithra Renito out, but then he grabs him back.
And it looked like he threw him at the audience chamber for a second. Nah, that
Yeah.
seems like all kinds of terrible planning.
Okay, there's Tarkin coming out to the moisture farm.
Yeah, now that moisture farm's pretty nasty. Tarkin plus Callus.
Yeah, that's 2
2 battle
destiny.
destinies. You're canceling a destiny. I do kind of want to see Brian throw at least one more guy down just to
Okay.
get
Yep.
his flip. So there's Yularen.
Activates 4.
And are we
Flipped.
going to see Van A move over to hang with Yularen and give him a second sight? Like,
It's possible. I don't know if I like that move though.
I don't understand throwing Yularen there otherwise, though. Like,
Yeah.
none of that
Master
is.
Luke V. It looks like it. I mean, the slip is like bright enough that it looks like it's different against the rest of the image.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it's non V. Like, non V seems like such a niche play. And he didn't
Mhm.
use, when he played it the last game against Joe, he didn't use non V to bounce one of the aliens.
Yeah.
Like, he could have, in theory, tried to use Master Luke to bounce Dr. Ian Ponda back to hand instead of having to deal with the whole clash thing that he did. So,
So Vanny and the Emperor both move over.
all right, I can.
That I agree with a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. You don't need the extra activation from the Emperor on,
Yeah.
you know, and he's still getting the +2 at the Tatooine document now. So moving those all over, and you see Brian had spent most of his force, and now he's got a whole bunch again. That's what ISB can do, and he's retrieving
Mm-hmm.
Admiral
Retrieve
Ozzel, who's an
Ozzel.
ISB agent. So, like, Greg's going to have to come up with something here because now, next turn, Greg's draining for 0,
Yeah.
even if he wants to pay for it.
But he
He's
also but He's getting 2 pings of 1 in.
Yeah, but one of those is just going to be an ISB agent that Brian just retrieves.
Yeah.
Like, Greg's going to have to figure out some sort of damage engine here, or this is going to be the shortest offensive of all time. Because Brian's in a good spot.
Yeah. I'm still wondering how Brian was able to get past Sam with ISB versus QMC.
I'm trying to look at something. Callus is not a trooper, so
No. Okay, there goes another Mara Jade and another Emperor that is signed.
that looks like a Clint Hayes signed Emperor.
Yeah. That
So my guess is Brian just took over Cloud City. Like, you might not get the drain -1 everywhere, but if you just keep throwing guys at him, like, your guys
Yeah.
recycle and his don't.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And your guys forfeit for a ton, and theirs forfeit for a little bit less. Like,
3PO
it was
coming towards
probably
the
sort of a
computer.
weird no shock on 3PO there. But it's kind of a what else are you going to do with that? Like, 3PO alone isn't doing much. A gift won't do anything, even if he's running it.
Yeah.
Like, what's your end goal here?
To beat Brian Fred.
Yeah, but how does 3PO just cycles. Like, I'm fine with 3PO. I think he needs to go down. But
Yeah, I will agree with you 100% on that. Okay, here we go. Ahsoka Tano going down to the spaceport docking bay.
ooh, shiny Ahsoka.
Very shiny. Shiny.
And oh yeah, he used the Unitas shield, so he gets the cheap deploy.
Yeah. And R2 coming down. Now, I don't believe R2 has any real uses with Ahsoka.
He
Lando,
forfeits.
forfeit value, yeah, but you don't get the
Yep.
reduction.
Lando's going to make things interesting, though.
Oh, yeah, 2 Destiny, bounce with somebody. I think you're going to, well, you can't cancel. So, what, you bounce Yularen?
Well, you're not bouncing; you're just excluding. And yes,
Oh, so yeah.
Yularen is 100% the exclude because he forfeits for $1 billion. And if you don't exclude, Vane doesn't have great forfeit. Palpatine doesn't have much in forfeit.
Yeah.
And Yularen's the easiest exclude as well. Like, that's an easy yes. Yularen is 100% your exclude.
Yeah, he should get the once per game swap with R2. Because it's
Which is fine.
yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say it's the Jabba's last chance. Once per game, if R2 is in a battle, may exchange a card from hand with a card in reserve deck. The R2 himself says once per game, may use 1 force to shuffle the opponent's reserve deck or place opponent's just play interrupt out of play. Pretty good. If in a battle with an Anakin or Luke, may draw on Destiny and subtract that amount from opponent's attrition. So yeah, like I said, it's not going to come really into play here. But
it'll go
again,
get him a
the
card,
swap is
which
good.
is big.
The swap can be big.
Yeah, the swap is good, and then he just covers forfeit. Like, you're fine with this. So he's Destiny 6. He covers forfeit. He gets you his thing. Brian looking at the Dark Time combo, which will not protect his Destiny from Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume Greg's doing something like, here, I'm going to grab a character and put back a high
Yeah.
Destiny.
I mean, I was going to say, but he's only got 2. So he did initiate. Action should be over to beef right here. As he draws Eli Vanto. So it's a 4 for Greg.
And it's, yeah, so Van Ney excluded. I don't love that.
It makes it so he has to lose Yularen.
Yeah, but Yularen covers a lot more in forfeit.
Yeah.
And he gets to retrieve Yularen, which means he gets to deploy him again, which means he gets the bonus
Yeah.
of his game text again. Like,
So R2 goes lost. Beeford thinking about what he wants to do.
I maintain, I think I would have excluded Yularen.
Yeah, and Beeford's got a decent little hand. Because I want to say with Sergeant Tarl, you can cancel
Ahsoka's text.
Ahsoka's text. I mean, he's power 4 when deployed, but he has to be with 2 ISB agents. So that's the only issue.
So Brian loses a couple, loses Yularen to cover 7.
Yeah. I'm
And see,
not
that's
100%
where
sure.
if you exclude Yularen instead of Vane, they're the
Yeah.
same power, but that's 3 more forfeit
Mm-hmm.
that Vane doesn't get. Greg may or may not be playing Unita. I don't think we saw it yet. I'll be honest, I think the cheap deploy to that spaceport docking bay is probably worth more than the grabbing back the one card would be. Like, I think
Mm-hmm.
that was totally fine to run that in there.
Okay, quite a mercenary. Probably going to go get Chewie here.
I'd imagine.
I mean, Brian's going to make Greg do lose 3/4 here by draining.
Yep. And then he might just go after the docking bay.
And there's Lieutenant Deirdre, so you can put a card back and onto your reserve or in your use pile, reduce the cost of one of your next ISB agent. So she's really good
Yep. And we'll put the 6 back
with Corporal
with
Vandalay.
Deirdre. Corporal Vandalay, who's there, who then does the take 1 back, gets him back Tarkin, who now goes down and can cancel the game text or cancel the destiny on the
Yeah.
weapon. Now we cancel Ahsoka's text probably with Tarl. There's
Yeah, you
Kier
can't
who
cancel
says,
Lando's.
yeah, there's Kier who says I'm going to cancel a non-immune to sense interrupt. Yeah, Brian just piling it on. Is Kier a trooper?
Mm, I No, he's a Royal Guard. Royal Guards I don't think are troopers,
Yep.
but Tarl works because of the ISB agents there.
No, I was thinking about the drain at Lars
Um,
Farm. So he could move Tarl over to Lars Farm so he
if
can
Tarl
drain
survives.
for. Tarl's going to survive. I mean, maybe. You're going to lose an ISB agent
Tarl.
unless the drain's real bad, at which point, unless the Greg's Destiny are real bad, at which point you just ditch Van
Yeah.
A. Like, Van A's done his job.
Yeah. Okay, so Brian Frank gets to initiate for free.
Yep. Activate 1 with something.
Oh no, he's
Yeah, I
activate
think
one
that's
banning.
Tarl.
Go
Oh,
get Myth Ron Renudo just in case he wants to move away.
yeah. Target a rebel. Target is immune to attrition and game text is canceled. So,
Yep. Cancel Ahsoka's game text.
yep. So now let's see where Greg goes with the exclude. Like,
I
I
think
think
he's gonna
you
try.
almost
Yeah,
have to go Tarkin.
you have to go Tarkin. So you still get you get 2 destinies.
Yeah. And I think Brian's got to cancel that either way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you can sit and fully trust your draw. I think you just cancel it and go for take your draw and just go, fine, I'm not excluded.
Okay, so he's taking that into hand with Vandalay.
Or enforcement.
Well, no, enforcement
Oh,
cancels it.
yeah. Vandalay
Vandalay
just
just says you get
when
to
you
take
draw
it.
an ISB agent.
Yeah.
Does Vandalay have to be in the battle?
No. Once per turn, if just ruined
For battle destiny.
No, oh, for Battle Destiny, yeah.
That was not battle destiny. At least not according to the rules I play by.
These are Brian Fred rules.
28 power for B Fred sounds about right. Yeah, he couldn't take it. He thought about it, and then it was nope, it's not it. It's got to be battle destiny, and that makes perfect sense.
Oh, he didn't take it. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because it was only for battle destiny. He'll take that one. He'll take the
Okay,
Stormtrooper
so there's a
Patrol, though.
gift and a neighboring leads.
So it's 8. Which I almost think you might do Palpatine.
17 for and power for Greg.
Yeah, sounds about right. And yep, you do Palpatine because he covers all of it.
Yeah.
And Greg loses both of them to cover the battle.
And then he moves Toro over.
Just like I suggested.
And retrieves Yularen.
You learn who's the only one. Yep.
Yeah.
And says, all right, do your 2 damage. One of which will likely be Yularen off the top. This is not a good position for Greg right now.
There goes a Tarkin from hand.
Because Brian's just got 2 complete Doom stacks.
We don't use that phrase anymore.
Greg can't do anything about.
We don't use that word anymore, Gary.
They are all Imperials who bring fear and the threat of doom to people, and they're all stacked up at 2 sites. Those are Doom stacks. If they were rebellions, they would be hope stacks, because that's how you build rebellions.
Greg uses 3PO, puts a card back, takes a card up.
If Greg had a couple more guys in the audience chamber, it'd be a hope stack.
Yep,
right now, it's just a small hope pile.
Greg's going to drain for 1.
Because of the lightsaber. Makes sense. Like
Fred loses another ISB agent. Greg's going into tank a little bit, but he's got his force pile in his hand.
Yeah, I mean he's got to know that the math on this just does not work his way unless he can change it, because Brian's going to do 6 next turn and retrieve an ISB agent.
Okay, there's
and
Yoda
Greg's
going
doing
down.
3. Okay, there's Yoda. I assume we'll see a move of somebody over, and yeah, it might be that Greg's thinking differential.
Yeah, I agree. Greg just needs to start pouring on some more damage.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, B Fred's about to do a lot damage.
Yeah. And yeah, making Brian deploy, like you just got to keep rolling at it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
now
and we see
Greg
this
can, yeah, I was gonna
spread
say
a
Greg's
little
gonna,
bit.
so he moves over, which causes a ping from Mithra Renudo. I'm probably gonna play Ultimatum here in a second to
Yep,
cap that drain at the farm at 2. So B Fred's gonna be draining for 5, retrieving 1.
yep. And Greg's also got to, or Brian's got to consider run Luke run. Like Luke being in the center of that, if Brian wants to try and go after things, he's got to be concerned about run Luke run
Yeah.
coming hard.
Okay, so B Fred has at least 14 in his force pile right now. And like I said, he's
But
not
he
paying
looks like
drain.
he's only got a couple more left. Like Greg just needs to cut this as much as he can. Because Brian
Yeah.
does have kind of a handful of cards, but like Greg's gonna
Brian's
at
pointing
least
to Brian's pointing to the new card being like, it's
it's
the
out
same
there.
card. It's got the same image. As we
No
see.
idea how much that messed with my I was playing a deck with now this is pod racing and then put a too close for comfort in it and it completely threw me off when I was trying to figure out which card I had.
Nice.
It's like I'm just not smart enough to do this. Like I just looked at the picture and I'm like, which picture is this? Ah, so all right. So
Honestly, like I
Brian's.
like the idea of B Fred spreading out a little bit. Like if he
Oh
can get
yeah,
himself,
Brian needs to spread. Like how much more can Brian spread though?
well, he's got
Like
a
he's
indoor
at
docking
all the
bay.
battlegrounds.
He's got an indoor docking bay in his hand.
Yeah, maybe that's the other. And yeah, he does probably Endor Dokume might be the spot just to get the.
Mm-hmm.
It's another drain of 2. Like you got to get this going.
Yeah.
So, and yep, I
Mike,
think that's what we're
and
gonna
we
see.
have a Mike Kessling. Uh, I will not disagree. Greg has like gone above and beyond when it comes to like prettying out his deck. His sleeves are pretty, his cards are pretty, his V slips are pretty.
Honestly, yeah, Sam saying Brian needs to go to the Boston Ass Chambers. That's not a terrible plan either.
Yeah.
Like it's only a drain of 2, but it's still a drain of 2. Like if Brian just wants to say, "Hey, let's run this out." So, and Mike might know the answer to this better. So we were discussing because of how Drew is, blessed with looking young as opposed to me, who was, buying beer at 8. How
I thought it was
current,
12 last time.
whatever, I'm just making up a number. How
Yeah.
current is that picture of Drew in the cowboy hat and the ukulele? Like, I kind of want it to be an old picture, but at the same time, my mental clock, I really want it to be from like 2 weeks ago, just because it will amuse me more if it's that. So we see Min. Min's going to drop another shield just because. You gotta, he's going to have to move somebody over with him just to, again, force Greg to have an answer. And I think it's more Brian doesn't really have any ISB agents in his hand.
No.
A lot of them are on table. Like the Stormtrooper garrisons are cute, but they're not doing a lot right now. If he can find a spy, those are tough to, I mean, they're not everywhere.
No.
So,
I was gonna say, yeah, B Fred.
okay, so Tarkin moves over there.
This one goes here. That one goes there. Deirdre goes here.
Yeah, Vandalay, and then somebody's got a document transit over to with Min. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's not bad. Like I would actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's a side. Like Brian is absolutely just all right. I'm gonna set up as much as I can, and then
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he necessarily needs to pick much up at this point either.
No, but
Like,
he does need to retrieve some.
Yeah, you retrieve with your ISB agent, and then you so he activates one with Van A.
And then he pays one to retrieve one with his eyes, with his objective.
Which makes total sense. And then you just let it go.
Okay, Elsa.
I mean, differential's a thing. You don't really need to pick anything up.
No, I mean, I
What's
kind of like the
Greg's
idea
gonna
of him
do?
getting. I want him
4,
to see. I was gonna say if he can get
or
like
Greg's gonna
4,
do 5.
Greg's doing 5.
Actually 6, because he'll do 3 from profit, 2 from a good blaster, and drain for 1.
Mm-hmm.
So like Greg can do.
But do you pay
Greg
the
can do
one
5 or
to?
6,
But do you pay to drain for 1?
unless you're planning to do something else. Yes. And Brian using Deirdre, and he'll do it again right away and throw
Yeah.
a none. I mean, I think if you're Greg, you still, even if you like, okay, Brian's losing everything from hand, like force him to lose the cards from hand. Force him to do this. Because yeah, you've got 2 blasters now, because you got Leia's and Hans. So
Yeah.
profit hits for 2 or 3. The good blaster hits for 2. Brian was like, there's my image of the Dark Lords. I really just need to make sure you can't drain ever at all.
Yeah.
It's like I'm putting in
But
2
unfortunately,
copies of
it's not. But now it's in the lost pile under a few cards
yeah, he
with
was gonna
no
put
real
in
way of getting it back.
he was gonna put in 2 copies of Dark Waters just because. But
And Obi-Wan with lightsaber going down in front
so
of
there is no drain. Obi with lightsaber there. That perfectly reasonable.
Rey going down as well.
I like that a little bit less because Brian's just itching to go back after something. It's like Obi and Rey is power 10 plus a destiny. I mean, they're 9 plus a destiny, and then Rey adds 1 to the total. So they're 10 plus a destiny.
Essentially power 10 plus.
So, and Brian's at like 6 plus a destiny, and then Min's going to forfeit for like 5. One of them's going to forfeit for like 5. So you're like, best case scenario here is maybe cause a few overflow.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that is still at
you're
like
going to lose a
17,
guy.
18.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a Clash or a Sorry, this could get
Yeah.
a little gross.
Now with the other trooper, the reacting trooper, that saves
Yeah.
him from the clash or the sorry.
Yep, that's bad for Greg.
A little bit.
So
Okay, so he does swing, hits men.
okay. Who's probably the best
Yep, there's the
forfeit
sorry.
to. I think the beta is a 5. Oh yeah, if he draws a 5, it'll clear because Ray adds 1 to make it a 6. As I say, the one guy's forfeit 5. So
it draws a. Oh no, he's dishing the gift.
here's Greg Brian's grabbing sorry, I think.
No. He placed that out of play.
He placed it out of play.
He used solo to play it.
Okay. So what did Brian use that force for? Brian just used a force. I don't know.
Oh no.
What? Rutro.
Oh, and it's a 6. But Beefried has the Gick.
Oh, useless gesture shield. Well, but Brian
used one.
Used a force, not Greg. Like I can understand Greg using one.
So
it should have used it.
Will not battle until the end of Greg's next turn.
Yeah, Brian having the Gick was huge there, and that might have been that was Greg's out, I think, Because now Deirdre does
I
nothing for the turn, but she blocks the drain on Greg's end as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brian can literally just be like, oh, okay. Tom, you're supposed to be the idea guy here. I'm kind of counting on you to know when me and Dan say something that sounds stupid.
Which is
Well,
not.
let me rephrase this. When me and Dan make a specific mistake on something, because saying something that sounds stupid is, pretty commonplace amongst us.
As we see,
So we go 2, 2, and 1.
2, 2, 1.
Like Greg, between the profit damage and the blaster, is definitely making a closer game out of this than I kind of expected. I really thought this was going to be a little more of a brutal, nobody's getting anything. And now Brian put out, maybe there is no try.
I have no idea. Okay, there's it could be worse.
Okay, he used min to play sorry.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, it could be worse for the drain of 3. Well, it'd have to be 3. So you only lose 2 to the drain, but the drain is announced as 3.
Oh, it's a drain of 3, yeah.
And then Brian cancels it with the dark time. So now we're back to, it's still a drain of 2, unless, are we thinking about sensing
it's a drain of
dark
3
time?
that's capped at 2.
Yeah. Are we thinking about sensing
And
the dark
it looks
time?
like Phil, yeah, they have some confusions about like how they're trying to do this here.
I think it was correct. You have to pay the 3 to reduce the drain to 3.
Yeah.
Because if you only reduce it by 2, you still lose a force because the drain is 3. And ultimatum says you lose no more than 2. So if you've lost nothing, you still haven't satisfied ultimatum.
Wow, that you're trying to make.
Brian is sensing it and failed. Oh no, he got it. To say it failed, but I forgot about Yoda. So he's losing 2 force instead of 2 force. But I guess he's costing Brian the.
Yeah. He costs him.
Brian grabs the it could be worse, which makes a whole lot of sense.
All that for a drain of 2.
Yeah, well, that was a very important drain of 2.
Yeah. All of that for a drop of blood. Brian Fred is thinking right now.
Yeah, getting that back with 3PO would be super important, which is exactly why Brian grabbed it. And I'm all good. I mean, you got to imagine he's got We're Doomed as well. Like, that's sort of the thing when you've got those. But he would have played the We're Doomed
after that
right away. And it would have, cut the 1 drain down. It would have cut the drain of 3 to a drain of 1. Now, Brian, are you going to make a mistake and put a guy down at Endor for no reason whatsoever?
Brian's not that bad.
No,
he's doing what Tom said he should.
Admiral Ozzel and
Vader.
I think it was Sam that said he should do that, not Tom. And Greg asked for a count, and Brian's got 6, 8, 10, 12. At most 14, I think. Yeah, Pistones, Ivory, Death Fist. A lot of people play the We're Doomed combo, but if you're running a deck that absolutely gets out 3PO and R2 and can utilize it, the original We're Doomed is still massive. Like, you just get below 15 and be like, all right, all of your damage is reduced.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, that is humongous. So, what are you doing, Brian? Oh, no. Okay. So he's just retrieving. He's not making the mistake. That's what I was.
No. That's the thing. Like, B Fred right now is the point where he's not making really any mistakes. Greg's not making mistakes either.
Yeah. B Fred's just advantage right now, I think.
Yeah. And again, Greg is the higher seed, so he actually picked this matchup first.
And that might have been Greg wanted to, Greg might have known. I think these guys are friends. They work together. They had an idea of what was getting played. So now it was Greg might have said, I need to know how I do 10. So I know what I need to do for my
Yeah.
dark side next time.
Greg's only at like 10 in life force and
Yeah,
one.
but Brian's not much above that.
Mm-mm. No, it's going to come
And
down. It's going to come down to game
Greg's
2.
getting the damage. Yeah, this is going to come down to game 2. Brian's got a few more cards. I think Brian's going to end up winning this, but I think it's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
very low differential. Like
Okay, so
it'll be
there's
within
3 to
5-ish.
the profit damage. He's got 2
Yeah.
more to the good blaster at your side damage.
Yeah.
But again, B Fred's threatening 7 this turn.
I mean, B Fred's threatening 5 this. Oh yeah, 7. I forgot about Boss Nest's
Yeah.
chamber.
Profit really doesn't play a lot of space.
Prophet basically, other than the weird that only existed for a little while, Prophet deck that was sort of a Prophet fake out and ran space.
Yeah.
Prophet doesn't really run space.
Oh, and he's going to add 1 to the drain. So it is going to be a drain of 1. Oh, it's good.
So drain a 1 because it was 2 and now it was 1, reduced by 1 to 0. Now adds 1 with
Prophet used to run cards like Y-Wing and Landing Claw. Because if your opponent didn't have any answers for the Landing Claw, your Y-Wing would just sit up there in space. You would attach it, unattach it, and just survive. Jared Napolitano made that famous for a long time.
the brave little Y-Wing.
Yeah. No, we have not seen any Lore Santecas yet. Jared.
That'll be next round, won't it be? Isn't Brian on Old Allies?
Well, if you play Lore Santeca, you can move solo and then shoot with his gun in the control phase.
Oh,
Yeah.
fancy. Never thought of that.
Oh, that is the first time Jared has ever said, "I'm on it." Everyone, remember, mark this on your calendars, please.
And you get that epic AI is supremely epic. That is one of my favorite images that we've done. So I'm a huge
yeah. But Greg's not, he doesn't have a lot left, but and it looks like he's only got 1 card in hand, and he really can't go down against Vader.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd be going. I don't think you're going against Vader. I think you're just trying to play it out with your drain. Maybe you pick one up just to get back the. I don't think you're gonna have enough to pay. I don't think you're gonna have enough to pay to drain twice, anyways. So getting back the handle probably doesn't matter. Well, maybe you are because you got. I mean, so you do a 2, 4, 6, 7.
Okay, Greg spends
paid
5
6. Okay.
for Anakin.
Where?
So that's going to block that drain of 2 there.
Okay. And Anakin with the +1 to Battle Destiny, the whatever. Anakin covers a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. But you got to assume B-Fred's going to come down with something to get rid of Anakin here.
Brian's only got like 7 cards, dude.
So here we go.
Brian's not coming down with nothing nowhere.
He saves 1.
Yep. So he's planning to come down with something, but it might just be
1, 2, 3, 4.
He's gonna have to move away.
7, 8. 8 cards left for Greg.
So that's enough to drain twice, which is at Endor and at Tatooine, unless Brian does the shuttle move everybody from that Tatooine docking bay to Endor and says, "Let's dance." Oh, I think I would. You block that drain. You don't risk
the drain's not the important. The drain's not the issue. It's the 5 damage he's losing from pings from the objective and
but he can't stop any of those.
No, he cannot stop that.
Stopping the drain is more important. So plus, Greg can't move away. Greg can't afford to move away. So if you move everyone there, you just say, all right, well, we might get a beatdown in, even if he's only got like 1 or 2 force left.
Play it, B-Fred. Play that beautiful effect.
No, you're not playing Tarkin's Bounty now, Fred. There's not a single card in your force pile you give a crud about. I think he's probably put down a 6 with Deirdre, so he can just choke out Anakin. Or did he put down something that just makes Okay, so it's a 5, so he kills him with Battle Destiny. Yep, he loses Ozzel, which is totally fine. All right.
What is he
I
doing?
don't know that I love the run like that. I think I would have gone. He's going to spread and move into. Why would you move into? No, he's not. He's just moving guys around. I don't know. I think I would have gone for the. I'd have moved everyone in front at Endor. There's 3, 4, 5.
Oh, it's only a ping of 1 from the good blaster.
Why?
Because no, it's ping of 2.
Yeah, he
No.
lost 2, and it's a ping of 2.
Yeah, it's ping of 2 and it's ping of 3 from the objective.
Yeah,
He's at 7 to Greg's
8, but Greg's
Yeah.
gonna lose
and
5 next turn.
yeah, and he's not going to be
But Greg's got to pay. Yeah, Greg's got to pay to drain.
yeah.
Greg's gonna win by like 3 or 4. 3, I think.
Greg?
Yeah, Greg's gonna win this game.
Yeah, no, Greg's going to win this game, but it's going to be like really close because
Yeah, because Brian's gonna hit him for 5.
yeah, it's going to bring him down to 3.
Yep, and then
No, he's hitting
Greg.
for 7. He's hitting him for 7.
Oh, he is, yeah. But
Yeah.
so then Greg can't afford to pay to drain, but it doesn't
No, but he can
matter
still get the 5
because
pings in.
he's getting the pings. Yep.
Honestly, I think Brian Fred should move some guys over to block the ping damage at where Yoda and Solo are. You don't care because you have so high.
Oh, Brian just won. Did we miscount something somewhere?
I don't know.
All right. So Brian won by like 5. I don't know if we miscounted something at some point. Not sure. All right. Well,
Yep, let's wait for Phil. Trading for 7.
okay. Yeah.
Greg had 7 cards.
Yeah. He played to drain twice and drew a card with Ray. Yeah, you're right. He had exactly 7. Like for some reason we were thinking 8, and 8 would have been alive.
So. And then it's going to be Brian Fred on his old allies versus Greg Shaw on Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader.
And it looks like game 6, Benji Chu versus Pat Johnson is the top pairing for consolation.
Let's go. One way or another.
I mean, I'll be honest, if Benji and Johnny win consolation and retro, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Like I'd be all in on that as a positive thing.
Okay, so once we get a word from one of our people on site, we'll let them know. I don't have an answer for that.
I didn't see a Sabine, so like this clearly isn't unlimited.
Yeah. Okay, so B Fred won by 5. He had 32 in Lost Pile. Greg had 34.
This has been a heck of a weekend. Like if you like good Star Wars play and you want to have fun with it, this has been it. And
he got you again.
So, but this has been, if you want to watch good Star Wars, this is coming out to live events. Like, even if you don't want to play, like you want to come out, if it's near your house,
yeah,
and you want to come out, you can help Chris with all the stuff that's involved in running a big tournament, because That man is running 24/7 on these events, and there's constantly stuff that needs to get done and can get done. And the sooner you can do it, the happier everyone is. And having an assistant, having someone to help you out is absolutely a lifesaver. Having been in that position, and well, when I ran one of those events a couple of years ago, I had Ray Walseth, and she was an absolute legend in just helping make everything go. Like, you don't want to come out and play, but it's nearby, and you want to come watch people play, and you want to hang out because we're a really fun group. Dan notwithstanding, like,
What
come
did I
play,
do to
come
you?
volunteer. It's been a long weekend, and
It
if you
has. It's
didn't
been a long
if you
weekend, but it's been
didn't
a fun
expect
weekend.
the jokes coming, I don't know what you did at this point, why you didn't plan for these.
So again,
So,
if you're the next big event is Worlds in September 29th or September 19th through the 22nd. So make sure you guys stick around for that.
and that's
That's gonna
in
be
Bochum,
amazing.
Germany, isn't it?
It's in
Or
Bochum,
Bochum?
Germany.
Yep. And then we will have some sort of stream coverage of that. I don't believe it's going to be live. I think we don't have access to live streaming there, so the games are going to be recorded, and then myself and someone else will probably do commentary over the recorded games. So if you don't want spoilers, don't look at the pairings and information stuff that can go up on the forums or whatever. That'll go up at European time, so it'll be real early in the US.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But we will have some sort of stream available for people to watch and enjoy. If you can't get to Germany, if you can get to Germany, go. You will have a blast. The Euros are awesome people, and going to play in Worlds, getting to play on the biggest stage at the biggest event is always a blast.
Mhm. I
So
can second. Apparently, yeah, Brian Freds needed to go outside and hit up his death stick addiction.
take a couple minutes, and I don't blame him at all. That's a super close, super hard fought game. You know, take 5 minutes, decompress your brain, focus on something else. So, and that's what you need to do.
So I think at this point, why don't we take like a 5 minute break ourselves? We'll go hit the bathroom. Make sure you guys hit the bathroom
Sounds good.
too. Get some water, beer, coffee, whatever you guys want to drink. We'll come back. We definitely have an exciting finals. It's uh, our marketing advocates' favorite light side deck of all time, Old Allies versus Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader. So what more can you ask for at this point? So, but we'll be back after this short break.
but if it works, I'm a bounce.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. So here we go. We have our final game of the 2024 Continental Championships. It is going to be Brian Fred playing against Greg Shaw. Brian Fred took game one by 5. He ended up so
Yeah, this
Greg,
has been this is going to
and
be a heck of a match.
yeah, Greg had 34 in his loss piles. Brian had 32, so it's still anybody's game. Brian is going to be on Old Allies, whereas Greg is on Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader. Brian going with Walkling, Battle Plan, and Draw Their Fire, as well as Brave Resistance. Greg going with Vader's Malediction, Vader's Machinations, and Security Precautions. Brian with the PC approved, 100% PC approved sleeves. Greg with the Yeehaw Cowboy Drew Lichtenstein sleeves.
I'm like I said, I just want to know how old that picture is of Drew
Well, we had
because
we had Mike in the chat earlier,
I know, and
and
he did not answer, and
he
I'm a
did
little
not
sad.
answer. I don't know if Drew has not been around yet today, so haven't seen him come in. Uh, Mike, people want to know, and you're depriving people of valuable information.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see kind of how Brian's playing this. If he's got a bunch of vehicles, this could be a little rough for Greg. Like if he's able to keep his guys safe from sabers, I expect
Yeah.
Greg's going to be basically going to Jakku. Like this is not a you go where the drains can't be canceled,
And everybody
and
wants to
you're
go back
just
to
trying to take
Jakku.
it over. Everyone's going to Jakku, and we see blue 11 right in Brian's hand, along with a kind of high amount of space. There's a gold leader. There's
Yeah.
a that might be Wedge in ship. There's another shiny ship. Like, dude has got Brian's got a lot more blue than I think I was expecting. Now, what is the
He's a Buffalo
conversation going
Bills
on
fan. Of
here?
course he's getting blue.
I don't know what Chris is telling them. How come no one plays Watch Your Step Palace Raiders anymore? Because the shield that limits you to 2 battle destinies,
Yeah.
where you've got the same unique guys, and Palace Raiders plus Patrol Crafts add a lot of card. You lose some efficiency. Like they were good when you were drawing, could use them to get 3 Destiny plus. But now that you're
Yeah.
capping at 2, you can just use 2 smugglers instead of 2 Palace Raiders plus a Patrol Craft type thing. So
Mm-hmm.
there's still,
Defensive shields, making this game less fun.
you could still play Palace Raiders with the defensive shields and, reacting Patrol Crafts and docking bays and stuff. Like it's just not as competitive. Okay. And Salt apparently wants to say hi again. So you can sit with me
What
for a little while
shield
while we
was
watch.
that?
Which shield was what that Brian?
Oh, it's the wipe them out, all of them shield.
Yeah,
Okay. Brian uses a rebel leadership to go get Admiral Radis.
the
Greg
border
uses.
breaking, beautiful Admiral
See, now
Radis.
Brian finally has a deck that looks pretty.
Yeah, like the amount of shiny cards in Brian's hand is pretty impressive, and I think is the way to go. Although he doesn't have a shiny Junkyard Falcon, it looks like.
No, he does not.
That feels
Uh,
like a miss.
but Greg got the works.
Yeah, this is just this is the setup that goes on every play here. So
And this is the thing, like we're probably going to see like an auto kind of a setup here from both players. I can see like Greg going out, getting a Vader, putting him at the castle, moving him over once B.
yeah,
Fred has established himself at Jakku. Probably going to see Ray come out, board the Falcon, go up to Jakku, so you can start draining for too. But being
Yeah.
that Greg's drains at Brian's locations cannot be canceled, that's going to really hurt Brian. There's
Yeah,
the
I
I
mean,
am your
oh, and he's got the I am your father.
yeah, he's
That's
got
gonna
the I am
be
your father. That's big.
like already Brian probably wasn't running a lot of drain cancel things because
Yeah,
I mean they might run an it's a hit, but like normally because you can't reduce the Jakku drains anyways, you can reduce
true.
the drains off of Jakku. So this is going to be Jakku. Brian's Greg's gonna take over Jakku. Or Greg's gonna try to take over Jakku.
At least one of the locations. We
Yes.
do see Vader get deployed with the castle. There's the saber coming down as well. Tentacle coming out for Brian. Brian's just like, well, you got everything you need now.
Yeah, that was a yeah, that's a pretty solid opening hand from Greg.
Oh yeah,
Greg got an outstanding start.
and that's the thing. Like Gray can go ahead and teleport, and now that he's at the chasm walkway, that all of B Fred's like interrupts right now are going to go lost.
Yeah. So which B Fred has to consider like he already played the rebel leadership, which is good. So he's probably not going to try and run anything else for the moment. All right. Well, you keep trying to climb down. That's going to be a problem. So Brian going resistance style. Look at all those shiny things. There is the beautiful alt art Lor Santeca and Lando resistance something or other.
Uh, Resistance hero Lando.
Yeah, sounds right. No, B. All right. This little foster kitten is she was
Pain.
so good. She was so good until now he's starting to be a little bit of an annoyance today.
Okay, so Greg goes ahead and teleports Vader from Cloud City all the way over to Jakku.
Which makes sense. And like
Wow, Brian's hand is like extremely shiny. There's the Ray's hut.
which makes sense. And I'm assuming he'll find Ray.
Probably going to deploy a character or two first to the Falcon, so that way you
Yeah,
can get
get it
maximize Ray as
advantage
much
now.
as you can.
Okay.
Oh, Garrett's all warm and
Is
cuddly now.
Brian's reshuffling, so maybe he's not going to get Ray. I mean,
There was a Ray in there.
yeah, and I think if he was going to go get Ray, he would have been like, "Well, I'm not going to shuffle. I'm going to be back in there in a second."
Yep,
So maybe
there's
he's not
Lando.
going to get Ray right away. I
Radis coming
mean,
down. We might not see him like move up, like maybe just stay at Jakku to the site.
ooh, I like none of that
I'm just
because
saying,
Vader adding the draw to attrition
yeah,
starts to roll through things. Yep, there. I think he's going to go Ray. Yeah, I think
yeah, there's the Ray.
Brian thought about it and he's like, "No, all of this is a bad idea. Let's don't get cute." There's the two from Ray.
Right
Now
now,
he's going to
ooh.
use the use pile pull.
I can't see what the sign card is. It looks like it's a
Um,
character, but the one he pointed to, I really like.
oh yeah, you do have your moments.
Yeah.
That would not be a bad card at all. I don't think you need the sight. Does he have two sights in his use pile?
It's
Is it
I
sight
don't
dude sight? You do have your moments. Jedi Lev.
I think it's Jedi Lev, you do have your moments, dude. Oh,
Okay,
it's Solo and Leia.
okay, that would make sense. And I think he grabbed the you do have your moments.
Yeah, I think that's the grab.
Being able to just cancel and redraw, or just add
Hmm.
3 to the attrition to get rid of Vader
Yeah.
is
I
not a
mean,
terrible
Vader's
thing. But you're
only
not
immune
doing it
less than
right now.
6 right now. And being that there's not going to be any Jedi, like, okay. So he
Yeah, but
does,
you're still putting Ray. There's no
yeah.
reason to don't overthink this. So
Battle. Yep, there's battle.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's battle order. I can't tell.
Yeah.
Brian saves a force, and it looks like he's going to pass turn.
I
So
got nothing. I don't know
I'm
what card that is.
assuming it's battle order and grabber out for B Fred. Greg has grabber
Yeah.
and secret plans.
It's probably.
I mean, it looks like it's a wizard.
It looks like, oh yeah, he can't pay battle order. He's
Oh,
got
that's
the
right.
battle order
Yeah,
effect.
maybe it's
So I'm almost wondering if that's like do or do not.
do it or not. Yeah, yeah. Battle
Like
plan is
based
already
on the
up. Thank you.
picture.
It's hard to tell with Brian's cards. Also, Timo, why are you up so late?
Or early.
No, it's
Either way, we're judging you, Timo.
yeah.
But because he's like 8 hours behind. So it's not even 11 p.m. yet. Well,
No.
gosh.
Well, I don't know what Germany time is like.
Germany doesn't do daylight savings because Germany understands that
Yeah.
moving a foot of blanket from the top of the blanket to the bottom doesn't actually make for a longer blanket. And so daylight savings time is a scam, and
No.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, you and me both. So Lord
So
Shitty is coming down. There's
with
Ace
his own
Fence.
lightsaber. So
Yeah. Things are looking up
Ryan,
for Greg. There's the
ooh,
sand.
and it looks like Benji beat Pat in the at table one in game 6 for consolation. Let's see.
Really?
I mean, if Benji wins consolation and Johnny wins retro, I think that's a successful weekend for the Chews. So we see the sand, so Brian can't start messing with Battle Destinies,
Yeah.
or at least he can't mess with 2 of them.
And just drawing some cards and solid turn.
I don't think we saw an Ellis from Greg last round.
Yeah.
He might play it. He might just be running the first aid or Lana Dobreed
Yeah.
combo as well. So
Looks like B-Fred lost a Ray last turn. I didn't see what the other 2 cards
he
were.
lost 3 off the top. They
Yeah.
were. I remember watching and like none of them were super impactful. Like there wasn't anything that was like, oh my gosh.
And Vader teleports over to Cloud City. I'm sorry,
Yep.
but that being
To
a free movement is dumb.
and it makes his interrupts lost again.
Yeah.
Now the one thing is that drain of 2, Brian, if he flips, can just reduce it to 1.
Yeah.
So he's fine with that. And Brian chooses not to drain for 2. I think he's going to try and go to ground here.
Well, I don't know if he's in his deploy phase or what.
Yeah, because he's just deployed a site.
Oh, okay then. Never mind.
I'm
I'll shut up
going to
now.
go with context clues and say yes, he's in deploy. I'm wondering if he wants to go at Sidious. Like, if you just put everyone in the ship, do you go at Sidious with and just try and outpower him? I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh, is that what you think, Salt? You think he should go for the outpower? So
Oh, if you're
Brian is a
asking.
cat person, Salt.
Yeah,
So
he
you
is.
should be rooting for him. Not that Greg is not necessarily a cat person. I don't know. Does Sidious can exclude anyone who's not present? I feel like yeah, Sidious can't exclude out of the ship. Ability less than 6 present. So if they're in the if they are in the blue 11, Sidious can't exclude them.
Yeah. But it does look like
So,
B-Fred is going for the flipping here.
oh yeah, I think you're flipping here either way. That you've got to flip, and even if it's just a
It's still a drain of 3 though. Like that's so bad.
yeah, and I mean, because Brian doesn't have Menace Fades, so and there we see the grab from Lars Santeca when he deployed Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Goes and grabs the Curling Corvette with Radis. He might just start throwing space. Well, no, he's not going to throw space because you got to take Mustafar too.
Yeah, eventually you're gonna want to take Mustafar.
Yeah, so I think you might hold on to that. And honestly, I could see him just go aggressive to Mustafar. He's got to figure out something to do with Lor Santeca, though, as
Yeah.
you're certainly not leaving him alone in front of Sidious. Like,
No.
that sounds like a whole bunch of bad ideas all rolled into one.
Mm.
Hmm. Ryan's got to figure out what he wants to do here.
I mean, he wants to win the game.
So
How is the
Brian
question?
hasn't actually flipped yet. He doesn't have the second
Yeah.
battleground site.
Okay. So
He
he lands the Leia with
shuttled.
transport.
He used the resistance transport to get Leia. Okay,
Yeah, and then
I
he
had missed
lands.
that spot. So he lands it. He flips. He moves Lore over to land with
And
it.
Greg's gonna go get the other bill card or a Newt Gunray. Yep.
Might actually get. No, I think you get always two.
Yeah.
Like Newt's good, but I think you get always two.
Yeah. I just don't like this position that Brian's in right now.
No, neither do I. Like Greg, the game was so close. Greg's like, I'm just gonna pour damage.
It's 5.
Like I'll pay 6 to drain you for 5, and then
Yeah.
move in front of. I'm not even sure you move in front of Lore and Leia. Like then
Because
you're just asking.
Brian's
Well,
only threatening 3 damage at this point.
I think you move in front of Lore and Leia simply because you force him to do something if he wants to do that
Yeah.
move. Then you end up with one of them and the resistance transport sitting alone. So do they bring him out to space? Like, I think you move Sidious to make him have a response because he won't be able to mess with your battle destiny. He won't be able to draw more than one.
Yeah.
Sidious excludes a guy, Sidious hits a guy, Sidious does nasty things.
Yeah, and like you said, all the interrupts are lost. Like
Yeah.
Brian's gonna have to think really hard what he wants to lose here too.
Yeah. Because I don't nothing
Because
seems
again,
good.
unfortunately, like, all of his interrupts right now at this point are lost.
Yeah.
Did one. Okay, yeah, he can reduce it by the drain over at Cloud
He
City
can
by
reduce the Cloud
reduce it to
City
1.
drain to 1,
No, he
but
should have lost
he's
3 to the drain at Jakku though.
yeah, I would think. Did we hmm. And Greg says, "All right, I'm just gonna pick some up." Like,
Yeah, I think he's like in a good position to do that right now.
yeah, I
Like
mean, until
Brian's the
Brian,
one who has to do something at this point, which is kind of the funny. Okay, so Brian did lose 3 to the drain at
yeah,
Jakku, according to Phil.
okay, and yeah, I mean, the thing is, Brian still won the first match, so like, Greg has to win. Greg still has to win this game, and Brian can certainly, if he gets over to Mustafar, he can spread and start
And again,
creating damage.
there's the move, the teleport. I'm telling you, that teleport is
Yep,
just dumb.
that teleport's strong. So he gets the drain of 2 off. Like the biggest problem for Brian is where are you going to go with your dudes?
But now all of his interrupts are not lost,
Which is good, but
which
like
is
again,
good. Yeah.
What are
But
you
we
doing
don't
with your
know that. Okay,
dudes?
Brian has Keep Your Eyes Open in his hand. He also has a Rebel
Leadership.
leadership. So he has the potential to get rid of Vader.
Yeah.
The problem is he's gonna lose something
He'll
big.
lose both of them to do it. Like,
Can you reduce the attrition
yes.
Destiny? Okay.
Yep.
So
Once per turn during battle involving your resistance character may subtract 2 from a just drawn destiny.
okay, so you can reduce the
So
attrition, which is nice,
you could
but
reduce
not
the attrition.
being
You could also reduce the swing
well, if
if
you
it would
keep
cause you to
keeping your eyes
miss.
open will make it so you can't swing.
Yeah. If he wants to do that. So,
If he's
and
going to battle here,
maybe,
he's going to have to.
and he can use the,
Yeah,
you do
and
have your
you're
moments to add 3 to the attrition to make sure you kill Vader.
yeah, and you're 100% right. Point man would be really bad here for Brian,
Yeah.
or really good if you want Greg to win.
Yeah. Point man would be a card that will change this battle.
Yeah,
Although, I mean,
and I think Brian's going to win a battle just so he can retrieve.
does
Like,
he? Oh, yeah, with Leia. I'm wondering if he wants to throw someone up in space first. Like, I might take this time to go, and we see him looking at some of his space cards. Like, this might be the get someone into space and then figure out the. Because if you do the keep your eyes open,
oh, you're right. Yeah, course, rough and irritating doesn't do anything. You
yeah,
can't add to the
leadership doesn't do much,
yeah.
but
Leadership won't do much. You do have your moments won't do much.
moments doesn't add to the draw, does it? I thought it adds to the. I think it's just attrition is +3. Here's add to all your
No,
draw.
it's the reverse of Klaus Call.
Oh, just drawn battle destiny is +3.
Plus
Okay.
3.
So you can't cancel and redraw, and you can't add 3 to it. So that's actually makes
Yeah.
it harder. I thought it was just adds 3 to attrition. So
No,
okay.
no.
Well, my way would have been way better for Brian. So
Yeah, Brian's in a lot.
yeah, now Brian's in a much less happy position, and I almost wonder if you go. Well, you don't. But you put a ship at Mustafar, throw down blue 11, and move them in front of Sidious because Sidious is less scary than Vader because you don't get the attrition draw.
Yeah.
And then you give up the Vader drain, but you start trying to push damage up in space, maybe. Let's see if Brian agrees with us.
That's Din Djarin.
Is it?
I think so.
I have no idea.
It's an AI of Din Djarin, I believe.
Okay. That seems like an odd play to put it on
the resistance
the Rebels transport.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure I like any of that play.
Okay.
And now they're all jumping on the Falcons landing. Okay.
I don't like. I mean,
no, I'm okay with that. The Falcon
okay
landing in front of Sidious is a solid. You've got Radis who can soak up some forfeit.
He's only soaking up 4.
That's fine.
Lando's
if you draw
Lando's soaking up some.
Yeah. Like you're trying right now, what it is stay alive.
Yeah.
So, and he put out ultimatum. So now Greg pays 3 to drain for 2.
Yeah.
Like that's not much. And at some point, Brian's gonna start doing more damage.
Yes, I agree. But right now, like you said, he's only doing 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do get the power bonus with Lando. That's correct. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've played Old Allies because to be honest, I don't think it's a good deck right now.
Well, I mean, Brian thinks it's good enough to go.
And it got him to the finals.
Yeah, and Brian had to do the same. What does this card do?
But that's some decent destiny for Greg.
Yeah. Like, I think Brian, if Brian can keep alive on a site and just stick with I don't need to drain on the ground. I just need to not get drained at both sites while he's doing 3 up in space. He's got a chance. I don't think it's necessarily 100%, but again,
Yeah.
Greg not only has to win the game, he's got to win by more than 5. So,
and he's on the right direction.
He's close, but like their drains are going to be about even now. Because Brian's draining for 3 and Greg's draining for 3. And
yeah. Well, no, Brian's draining for 2.
Oh, 2 unless he does a swap again, because the Falcons landed. So it's 2-2 on drains.
It's 2-2 right now. Yeah. Yeah.
And I see, James says space is a trap with old allies. Don't fall into it. Yep, that's a legitimate concern. Like, Greg's space is not strong enough to go against old allies.
No, not at all. I'll agree with you 100%.
There's no way. Like, if anything, I think Greg maybe needs to just throw a guy at Cloud City. Just, hey, give me another drain. Well, you don't want to be paying for that drain, though. Like,
yeah,
it's one thing to be like, hey, throw a guy at Cloud City, but like, you don't want to be paying for that drain. Don't.
I mean, I don't know what other cars besides the Maul and the Scimitar Greg is running for space. If he's running the Eli Vanto, if he's running the Colonel Jendon in Vader Shuttle, it wouldn't be terrible.
Or a Sing to Cloud City just to.
I don't hate that.
You're probably not going to have a ton you're doing with your force otherwise, like spending.
Yeah. But this I like.
As much as we talk about it stinks to pay 3 to drain for 1.
Yeah.
I think this is a spot where you're paying 3 to drain for 1.
Yeah.
So I like that, but at the same time, if Brian's running things like it's a hit, he can cancel that drain
because it's a non-battle.
Because it's not a battleground.
Yeah. And
so
there's leadership. Let's see, will Greg grab it? I mean, he's got multiple grabbers out. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's got more than one, you might as well.
So, but I was gonna say, okay, I'm trying to think of like who.
There is another site in hand. Brian does have another site in there. He must have activated it last turn. Is that Fleet Admiral Gal Akbar? I think so.
Yes.
That's a very shiny Fleet Admiral.
Again, it's a Brian Fred deck. Are you at all surprised?
So, what I'm hearing is Fleet Admiral's going to be up in space, and then it's a trap. So.
Why would it be? It's a trap on space.
Because it's Admiral Akbar, and he's going to be up in space, and it's a trap. It's old allies. Don't go to space. It's just gonna hurt you.
That was bad, and you should feel bad.
Whatever. Don't judge me.
Too late.
All right. So Brian's gonna drain for 1 and 1 here. I'm more curious if Brian's got another dude. Like, do you just go you don't go after the Aura.
You might, and then play similar tricks and nonsense.
Yeah, I don't like any of that.
It's not. Well, the thing is, like, it's not like Aura's getting those 2 destiny to shoot. She's only going to get 1. There's no Jedi in Brian's deck.
Yeah, but if you have to subtract from it, then you're losing someone to the battle destiny.
So,
well, or which either means
you got to saving you 2 force.
It's saving you 1. She's only draining for 1.
I'm saying it's saving you the 2 because of the force at the non-battleground.
Yeah. Yeah, Timo, I will leave your Corvettes alone. Like, I'm just gonna I don't know what his plan is, but it's gonna end badly for me. So Brian looks for his other site and again whiffs. So
I mean, you
That's
might lure him to sleep. If anything, I mean, Garrett needs his daily naps.
I don't take a nap every day. Just every day that ends in Y.
So you're not going to nap tomorrow?
I didn't say that.
You said every day that ends in Y.
Yeah.
So tomorrow doesn't end in Y.
Um, as I say, Monday certainly does, but all right, I see where
But
you're going
so,
with this.
yeah.
It's that's cute.
Okay,
Nice try.
Brian's using force here, and General Poe Dameron going down in front of
All
RC.
right.
I
What
honestly
does
forget what he
General
does.
Poe
Yeah,
do? He's a three,
Sokatano.
draws one battle destiny if unable to otherwise during battle. If opponent has a greater number of characters and piloted starships, so he doesn't get anything. He just battles.
Yeah. Be into attrition lesson 3.
Yeah. Draws if unable to otherwise, but then who is the is that Ahsoka?
Sokatano with lightsabers.
Okay. So he might actually
He
get
has
some
the
stuff
potential
there.
to do some damage here.
Although my concern is he ends up leaving a guy in front of for Vader to just teleport back to.
On his turn. It's on
Oh
his
yeah.
control phase. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he might be all right. He's gonna have to come up with something on his control
Greg
phase.
looking at the foils like, why don't I have this foil?
He might. He didn't play Old Allies. We don't know if he played if he's got a General Poe foil or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, thank you, James. Brian's gonna if he initiates here, he's gonna retrieve with Leia. He's gonna have the ability to manipulate the at least the swing, at least the
Yeah.
shot. So
He
he's
can
not.
reduce the shot and potentially make sure
Yeah,
somebody lives.
but at the same time, like you said, do you normally do you want somebody to live? Greg's hand, if that's the stack of cards next to the works is Greg's hand, that's pretty loaded.
Yeah, Greg's got a lot. And yeah, the General Poe art is amazing.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm willing to bet the foil looks even better. Like
yeah,
this is our graphics team does amazing work.
yes.
Like I'm not even there's no other way to say it. They are outstanding
Like
and
I'm looking forward to showing off the banner and the logo for Worlds once we are able to. But yeah, the logo for this event is amazing.
yeah. You'll send me a photo for what? I don't even don't pretend I remember what I asked for or talk about for more than
No,
the amount of time it leaves my mouth. I don't know what I got a photo of. I might actually have a foil General Poe. That was one of the prizes. I probably have one. I just haven't used it. So
yeah, because I mean, when was the last time anybody really ran Old Allies at this point?
I have a pile of amazing looking cards, and I just need to do something with them. Is Brian not going to battle Aura?
I think he's got to. I think
I
battling.
can't I can't think of a reason not to.
Yeah.
And
Again, if it's a
have you not
day
noticed the entire weekend, Carl?
like that's
Like
Garrett's MO.
that's, and I'm totally okay with it. Like I'll be honest, the whole I don't remember what I said 30 seconds ago has nothing to do with me being old. It has far more to do with me being rampantly ADHD, and
Uh,
that's just how I roll.
okay, so Brian's shuttling and
I
moving characters around.
don't like Brian not battling there.
Yeah.
I
Does he have a
really
way to cancel that drain at the non-battleground? Because
maybe, but like, I mean, he's got ultimatum. It's just a drain of 2,
it's still a drain of
and
2.
Greg's got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Okay.
someone said
Thank
it's
you.
a hit was in his hand, which is the question. It wouldn't surprise me because
Yeah.
that's a card that would reasonably be in there. And Brian did do a double read on the Revenge of the Sith, so He probably said the same thing. I was like, oh, okay, well, I can cancel non-battlegrounds.
Yeah.
Eat it. So I'm kind of watching the pairings for the consolation, as it's Benji Chu was on table 1 and won his game
Yes.
against Pat Johnson, who was up to that point undefeated, but did have a bye. So I'll be curious how all those tiebreakers work out, and if Benji ends up, I mean, if the Chu boys end up winning, Benji wins open consolation, Dad wins retro. I mean, really what it means is Apollo needs to come next time so he can just take open. You
Or
know,
the Friday night warm up event.
the CTOD, the Chu Train of Dominance, would be pretty hard to beat.
Oh yeah,
So we
100%.
see the force push being used to get something.
Definitely getting a card.
Yeah, like I think Greg's got to kind of figure out. Greg left himself 3 destiny. So that's really, he's only planning to battle at one place.
Well, I don't know if he left himself 3 destiny or if he activated everything and that he was only able to activate to 3.
Well, either way, he's got 3 cards in reserve. He's only
Yeah.
battling at one place. So
I
whether it
mean,
was
there's
by
only really
choice
one.
or,
There's unless he goes to space, there's really only a few places he can battle.
yeah, there's 2, but he's only going to battle at one. He's not going to go to space. He knows better than go to space.
Because it's a trap.
It is absolutely a trap. He goes to space, and Brian responds with prejudice. So
Extreme prejudice or just prejudice?
Brian's not really an extreme guy. I think it's just going to be regular prejudice.
Hey, Brian is extremely extreme. Have you ever like played fantasy football with him? He
Brian
will block.
apparently does not have the it's a hit in hand.
Oof.
I mean, he lost 2. He lost to Jin and
Yeah.
he lost to leadership. He's fine. No, Brian gets into things, but I don't think of Brian as extreme. Like, I've never seen Brian go through a table.
I was gonna say
I've
like
never
Brian
seen
Fred.
Brian in a ladder match.
Like if Brian Fred wants to a player from fantasy football, he will try everything he can to get that player off of you.
Yeah. Oh, it's in his reserve. Okay. So
Yeah,
he has the card. He just doesn't have it in hand, which
that's
makes
not
a
where it
lot of
should be.
sense. So, and again, I said it's a very reasonable card to have in the deck. If you can't find it, you can't find it. Like, I'm not sure what I'm not sure what Greg does here. Like, I don't think you really want to battle the Falcon. Your best case scenario there is maybe clear 2 pilots or 2 characters, but like then you lose them again, and Vader's sitting there without a say. Oh, space! It's a trap. That's the Maul and Scimitar. Are you going to make him immune to less than 6 and throw a pilot on there? Is that Asajj or who the heck? Somebody with something. I can't tell. Cannot tell who that is on there. Could be
Gideon.
Gideon. Okay. Gideon in leather suit. All right. Refresh here for a second because Twitch is starting to get grainy again. I mean, Gideon adds 1 to the total battle destiny, or to the battle destiny, which,
He does. It's not bad. Pretty good.
yeah, but you're not going to get it if you use sand, which you actually, you don't have to use sand there because Brian does not have a resistance character there.
That's not good.
So Brian's first getting battled at. I actually think Brian might be okay. Like, he's going to draw battle destiny up in space.
Yeah, he's
Greg's
gonna
going to
hit
have to
one.
lose 1 to make it immune, make the ship immune. And then Vader's anger. Does that require them to be present? Let's read Vader's anger real quick. For each character in battle. Oh, that's bad. And Brian immediately grabs it. Because yeah, now the Vader's A, now he's drawn at a +4. And he'll get the Destiny to attrition.
Yeah.
So he's throwing
But
the
again, he
saber.
could cancel, he could reduce the destiny to attrition.
Yep. And I mean, he could reduce the battle destiny too if Greg doesn't take a card off sand or coarse and rough and irritating, whatever.
Yeah. And he
Yep.
does
So
take a
he's
card off.
grabs the Kylo Ren, which makes sense. So we'll see 2 draws, or we'll see a draw to the battle destiny, which can't be modified.
No.
And then the attrition draw, which absolutely can. And
Oh, but he's gonna play. Looks. I don't know if he's playing it or that's his destiny to power.
I think he's playing it. Does
It's gonna. Well, yeah, he played it. So he took.
Oh, that's
takes it.
Ascension
Yeah.
guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for a second it was leadership. I'm like, I don't think leadership works here.
No, shouldn't. Why is he shuffling?
Greg might have Greg pointed to tentacle, which would have made him
Okay.
shuffle.
Okay, that's a good
So
shuffle.
Brian was like, "Oh, I'll use Ascension guns to make sure it's there."
Yeah, I'll get a good destiny on top. Yeah,
And Greg
but
says, "No, you
tentacle
won't."
makes him shuffle.
Yeah, tentacle forces the shuffle. Having used that before, that's a solid,
Yeah.
and now he'll get the destiny to power with Lando. And that's it. Yeah, the tentacle. Oh, the destiny to power is BB-8. Probably would have liked that for Battle Destiny.
Yeah, the battle destiny is a 4.
Okay.
So it's a 9 for
And then
Brian's battle
so it'll
destiny.
be 10 for the total
Yeah,
attrition because he'll subtract 2 from that attrition draw.
yeah, because you can't do it anywhere else. So yeah, I would.
Yep. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Subtract 2 from the attrition draw. And Lando. I mean, Brian's going to have to lose 10. And Vader, what is Vader's immunity there?
Less than 6.
With no Jedi?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like less than 8 if he's got a Jedi, right?
Yeah. Yeah, BB-8 would have been really
Immune
nice.
to less than 5. Less than 7 if with a Jedi.
Okay, so it's one away. So yeah, Vader has to go bye-bye.
So yeah, Rey adding one sends Vader bye-bye. That's not great for Greg. I think he was hoping to go a different way with it. We don't know what the regular draw would have been. We didn't see that. I think they're all doing math now.
I mean, Lando, so it's 10. I think Lando's what?
Lando forfeits for 6, I think. So Lando
5.
that's
You got to lose Rey.
that's unfortunate. Wait a minute, aren't doesn't Brave Resistance make guys
Yeah.
forfeit
Yep.
plus something?
Yep.
Your resistance characters with printed forfeit less than 6 are forfeit +1. So he
yeah,
can
Lando,
lose Lando and Radis and keep Rey alive.
but Vader has to go.
Vader going is big.
Yeah.
Like that was I mean, at the same time, like Greg, a draw of 5 is not that hard. Like I feel like that might have been a misplay from Greg's point if he wanted Vader V.
Wait, does he? I know he were. Oh, that's right. So I know he does, but
Do they have to be present? Opponent's non-Jedi characters here are power and forfeit -1. So yeah, so he's going to lose. At that point, he's got to lose Rey and Lando. Because Rey
holy moly.
forfeits for 6, and then Raditz only forfeits for 3.
Yeah.
with that flip. That was good. Although he'll keep the
Okay, I think they're taking a break. There's something going on.
he keeps presence there. I think they're all going through the hold on, what all is going on.
Yeah.
We got a whole pile of judge questions now.
It's like
Casey's over there. I wonder which one of them hired him as representation. Is that VZ?
he's no, that's Pat. He's
That's
also a
Pat
lawyer.
Johnson. Okay. Yep.
So Pat is obviously Brian's lawyer. Casey is Greg's lawyer. Now they have to fight to see who wins.
Yes. Now they actually have to play a game
No,
to
they actually have to
determine
fight
it's
in a ladder match.
no one wants to see that. That'll be the extreme match right there. So no, I'm not. The one downside of not having the volume is we don't get to hear what all the questions are. And I don't want to be like bugging Phil to like, hey, what is the question? Although I'd like to know what it is, because yeah, there's a whole bunch of I don't know what's going on. All right, so we're just kind of sitting quietly. Like, oh, interesting question. All right, so I'm hearing the question of do forfeit modifiers go away if Vader dies first? You
Oh,
know what? And it looked so Brian lost all three of them. I think he was
so
trying to figure out if he lost the Falcon, but he should have subtracted 2 from the attrition draw, and that was
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either, which would make because otherwise then he would have lost 12, and that would
Yeah.
be 5. Well, he'd still cover because 5, 6, and 3 is 14. So it doesn't really matter if he had to lose 12. There was no way to. If he had to lose 12, he could, in theory, have lost Lando and then Ray, but it depended on the order.
Do you Pistone Ivory Deathfist, do you have a link to where that is on the forums?
I've got the forums pulled up. Let me see if I can see. Problem is searching with Vader is going to be there's a whole pile of.
Well, it's not necessarily Vader. It's the
Okay, Vader subtracting 1 is not an action. It's a modifier. It was just always on. So Han is free. It was just asked in profit. Okay.
either way, that's
Yeah. So Vader's
rough.
modifier is always going. I I think Brian forgetting to subtract 2 from the attrition draw is probably
That's really
much more of a problem.
yeah, especially because he's not going to be able to subtract 2 up in space. Who's on LRT? I think it's
We're not
Din
sure.
Djarin. I want to say it's Din Djarin.
It's somebody. Yeah, it's an alien pilot. I'm not even positive it's Din because the text looks a little small.
So apparently Greg peeled cards there to
Yep,
keep
to
that
keep
forfeit
Vader
reduction in
alive.
place. That's why.
Yep, because that makes sense. When you lose one, and
Yeah.
then it's your opponent has to do something. That all makes sense, and that's what it was. It is Dana, according to Carl. Okay. Carl's apparently watching this on a huge screen somewhere.
I mean, Carl's, have you seen Carl's like collection? He's got a collection of like amazing stuff. So he's got money to spend on like a TV specifically for streaming.
I have not, I've not been to Carl's house. I've been to Travis's house.
Yeah. Yes, it is
So,
Din Djarin on the transport.
okay, but so he didn't battle Din. So now Brian can do something there.
I mean, Brian's still draining for two.
Brian's draining for 2 now. Yep. And he cost him, Brian's, I think, doing math and going, all right, how much do I have?
Yeah.
Oh, Carl's played against it in real life, apparently, and is familiar with the foils and appearances of cards.
But the fact that Vader's off the table is kind of big.
For the moment. I mean, he's still got to deal with that drain. That Sidious drain is still unblockable now. And
If
it's
you
a
throw a
3.
pilot onto the Falcon, you're fine.
Probably. I mean, they got to have at least ability, but at the same time, like, do you want to just throw a pilot there? Because then you're going to start losing, you know,
Yeah.
like Vader coming down would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a guy, Brian. It's like, oh, there's a guy in here, which is what he would have liked, I think.
Yeah, I can't tell who it is.
It's an alien of some sort.
Yeah.
And Brian shuffles and I cut.
Cut my deck.
I demand. All right. So Brian's got, I mean, he's got a little bit of stuff. He doesn't have a ton to go off.
Yeah.
I'm still a little surprised he didn't battle Oro, though. Like, I understand Greg not battling back, but like, where
Yeah.
are you going with this now? Like, Vader's going to come down again. You're going to lose one to deploy the saber. Like,
I'm just
I don't
wondering,
think you
like,
can leave Leia and Lore alone. So, like, what are
no.
you going to do? And what are you going to do in space to go after? Are you going to go after the Scimitar? And Greg, I mean, Greg's got a decent number of cards in hand, but I don't know how much he's got
Yeah.
left
That's
down.
the, and
It
I just
doesn't
asked
look like a
Phil.
ton.
I just asked Phil.
So, like, we
Those
know
those
Brian
Drew
doesn't have a
sleeves
ton.
are just the Drew sleeves are just mixing together really well.
They're just mesmerizing. So, and
If anybody gets Garrett for Secret Santa this year, that's what you should get him. Drew Lichtenstein sleeves.
so apparently it looks like Ryan Jellison won the consolation event.
Okay, so Phil is saying it's 16-ish for Greg, 20 for B Fred.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Um,
So, but now what is Fred going to do? He's only got like one dude in hand. He does have a couple more ships.
where are you seeing that Ryan Jelson won?
Pat just posted it in the team chat. So,
Oof.
so there's another pilot on the LRT who came down for 2, whoever it was.
It's 15-18 in favor of B Fred.
Okay, and there's 4 for the Corvette, which gives him good forfeit there and a
However,
pile of power.
here's the important thing. Greg has a 10-card hand.
Yeah, and Brian's got a 6-card hand, so they're still very close. That 10 cards in hand means Greg can come down with something.
So for the consolation, yes, it was Ryan Jelson took number 1, Pat Johnson 2, Benji Chu at number 3, and then Amar Banger for 4th.
So it's
So congratulations, Mr. Jelson.
Well done. And it looks like if you see the pictures on Slack, there's already regular board games going on, which is really what, a big thing on these events are.
Yeah,
I mean, Greg's going to cloak to add,
something.
probably to add immunity. I got to think, like,
Yeah. I
because
like the
Brian did not, like, the only way I wouldn't have done it is if Brian knew, it had activated to the BB-8. Because at that point, that 6 point whatever kills everyone
yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
And Brian didn't do that, which I think was a mistake because he certainly could have activated that much, I think. And that would have been the play.
Yes, he has still one more card on sand.
Yeah. And he put down Fleet Admiral Akbar. Shouldn't that have gotten him a card draw off lore? Did I miss
Yeah.
that? Okay. He might
It's a
have missed that
May, I
as well.
believe.
Okay. And Brian might say, well, I don't want to put any more of these cards in hand. Oh, Ryan Jellison won by 1 in strength of schedule over Pat and Benji.
What?
1.
Where do you see
46 to
that?
45 and 45. Forums. Chris just posted the final standings. That is,
That's insane.
that's a close one.
Yeah. So the fact that Pat had that buy, that first round buy, really hurt him.
Yep. So
Chris Kelly took fifth. And Chris Gogolin took seventh. But most importantly, launch
Brian
prologue.
started and retrieved, looks like.
Yeah.
Which I think is okay. Like, I'm totally fine with, you've got forfeit there. You can forfeit Din. I mean, you can use Din to target
You could
Gideon and
forfeit
just
the
say,
you could forfeit the Corvette if you really need to.
I'd probably forfeit Din ahead of the Corvette simply
Yeah.
or I'd forfeit, either Din or because you get more power out of the Corvette.
Yeah.
You
But I'm
can
saying
always
if you
forfeit the
have to.
Corvette later. Yeah. If he cracks, Din
Oh, that's
forfeits for
lightsaber
what,
parry.
6?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
lightsaber
not
parry is
scary.
on sand.
Yeah, and that's definitely saber parry. Greg went and got the Gick and had to pay an extra 1 to do so. Because
Yeah,
I think
throw the
he
fire.
realized the power is just not, he might end up having to peel it anyways.
Yeah.
I will say that is real good for Brian.
The fact that he got that he had to go get the kick.
If he can
Yeah.
get him to peel it, because you can always then go,
What is Brian for? Oh, they're saying goodbye to Johnny Chu.
okay. Because I could definitely see Brian at the end of this battle then shuttle someone down onto the Falcon, get onto the Falcon,
Yeah.
and take off to get the extra drain. So, because I just
Mhm.
want to, old allies flips back just if you don't occupy 2 battlegrounds.
Yeah,
So,
and
like,
right now he does. He
he's
occupies
got,
4.
he's got space. It's more a question of could he be flipped back easily, and I don't think he can.
Mm-mm.
So that's what I wanted to see. I don't remember if it was Jakku battlegrounds or just battlegrounds. So Brian draws that you do have your moments for destiny,
And Greg draws a 6.
which becomes a 7 with Gideon
Yeah.
because he didn't take a card off sand.
Well, no, it's total. Gideon's total, I believe.
I thought Gideon was to the individual. Gideon.
Total. Your total battle
Oh,
dice for
okay.
your
Total
plus
is
1.
+1. All right. So that 7 means Brian's got to lose the Corvette either way.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg did not cloak apparently. And then Brian retrieves one with Din for Greg losing Gideon. Beefred did not apparently, or he didn't play it.
Yeah, he didn't play it. And so, yep, he lands or he shuttles down Akbar. Akbar hops onto the Falcon.
Falcon turns over.
Wonder. No,
Just
Fleet
like
Admiral. No, he had a Fleet Admiral up there.
Yeah, he had Fleet Admiral Gilal Akbar, so he had the Admiral. He just didn't have a way to.
Yeah.
He must not have had the leadership, or knew that if he played it,
Greg takes a card off Sam. Like,
and Greg grabbed leadership, so he would have had to pay 2 to do it.
Yeah, that's a good.
Which means he doesn't get anything.
Leadership's on Tentacle, right?
Oh yeah, so he wouldn't have had to pay, but he would have had to stack. Did you see the card he just drew?
No.
Barrier. That could be.
That's good.
Yeah, but he has the leadership. He might not have wanted to use it and lose the card off sand.
Yeah.
Like he might have been hoping that he would get sanded anyways, and then it would stop him from reducing the destiny from a 7 to a 5.
I'm surprised that Brian hasn't put Walkling out of play at some point.
Yeah, I think you do. I think he was kind of hoping he would burn it anyways.
Yeah. Because you still had the -2 up there.
And yeah, because he might have done the -2, which meant it was 5.
So then that's how why did he lose it was 5. He could have lost Din.
He could have lost Din, but if he loses Din, then he doesn't get the retrieval.
That's true.
And if he loses Akbar, then he doesn't have the resistance pilot up there for later.
Yeah.
So I'm actually fine. I'm fine with the Corvette going away.
Yeah, same here.
So he drains for 2. Like I expect we'll see a Vader here, but that barrier's real good for Brian.
Yep. And there's the Vader down in front of Leia and Laura Santeca. Brian sitting there,
which makes sense. And Brian says,
and there's the barrier.
Brian said no. Oh, Brian had 2 barriers in hand. I didn't realize that. And if you're Greg, I think you maybe just let that go. Like it's lost anyways with Tentacle.
It's lost, but if now Brian will be able to play the second one if he needs to.
Yeah, but I don't know if you want to. Like Brian's still got other interrupts that maybe are worth.
He's only got 4 cards in his force pile.
Yeah, you're not playing it. There's no one he was playing a second one that comes down and matters.
Greg's at 15 still in his life force.
Revenge can play Blastor controls. Greg doesn't have it out right now. So.
Yep, there's a card going lost, so he can get the saber back.
He's losing for the saber, which makes sense.
No one knows, honestly. Like the fact that RS saying, okay, so we might actually have a battle over there in Cloud City.
Right now, they're just sort of staring at each other. I mean, Greg might start the battle so then he can, during control phase, warp Vader over there. I don't know that I love the keep your eyes open. I mean, I guess to hit Poe, Brian would have needed to draw, or Greg would have just needed to draw 5, which is probably in there. So, and that way you can just keep.
Is he point manning here?
I mean, he has at least 1 point man.
Yeah.
We saw one. Yeah, it's fine.
Or
it stops him from getting cleared, which makes
so he draws
sense.
a 6.
Which gets there because of Sidious.
Yeah, let's see if he's going to lose 2 here.
Yeah, did he?
And that's the thing, like I don't know if B Fred has the do or do not shield out now.
I'm not sure what that middle shield
Yeah, nope,
is.
he does. There goes force
Okay,
field,
which makes sense.
Vader's obsession, and the sense. So yeah, that middle one that looks like a wizard is a sense, or is
Yep.
the do or do not shield. So keep your eyes open. Goes lost. Shoot 5. That hits.
Yeah, 5 hits.
Well,
If
right
he
now it
shoots at
hits
Poe,
unless
5 hits. Even if he subtracts two,
nope
it hits.
does not hit.
Oh, that cancel a draw against a resistance dude. Yeah,
Are
that's
you
a
okay? Subtract 2 from just drawn destiny targeting the ability or defense value of your non-Jedi episode 7 character.
so then
So
he subtracts two and subtracts two.
yep.
Ooh, that's big.
Yeah, and he's
If
had
he
that card
had
in his
that,
hand almost all game.
honestly, if he had that, I almost think he played the keep your eyes open just to bait out the sense.
Which was amazing. If that's the case,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Like that might have been his only option there.
Greg takes the lightsaber. I don't like this taking the lightsaber parrier here.
I
Like
don't understand it because you already subtract. He already had to have subtracted.
yeah,
So
yeah, he had
do
to
you need the
subtract there.
lightsaber parry just as a card? But now you run into Brian can leadership, and I think that might be Brian. What
Yeah,
Brian's looking at is does he have another card in hand so he could go
back up Poe.
back up Poe and battle them if yeah, I think leaving
I think you have to
Ahsoka
lose
is
Poe. I think you have to lose
yeah.
Poe here.
Ahsoka is just better.
Yeah, because we know that I'm assuming that Greg's going to teleport Vader over to the walkway
Yeah.
and try and kick the crap out of Poe eventually.
I mean, the sense was the right play because you don't know
Oh
that
yeah,
he's got that and
and it made Greg lose
you
3
know
cards.
well, no, I mean the sense from Greg was still the right play. You've got Brian's only got like 5 cards in hand.
Yeah,
Does he have the keep your eyes open and the canceller? Like make him prove it.
move Sidious over. Maybe.
Why? You move Sidious over, he just Lor Santeca's Leia to bat to drain.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Like really the question is, I think you gotta move Vader over in front of Poe.
Yeah, you do. It's a free movement, so I would.
Yeah.
And he lands the scimitar.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Well, you can't leave it in space.
It's not a lot of power up there.
He's got 2 ships plus 2 pilots. You got more than enough power to make things go badly up there.
Yeah.
He's got 12, 13 power up there, I think.
But Greg also has the Gick.
Yeah, but do you want to waste the Gick?
Yeah.
And then you need to save another force to play the Gick?
True. That's a good point. Yep.
Like
Vader
I'm
teleports.
yeah.
I mean, here's the thing though. Greg's gonna lose 4 right here.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then the Lor Santeca move makes it 4.
Yeah.
The question is, does Brian have another card in hand,
He's got another character.
another character to take advantage of the leadership to add one and kill Vader
Yeah,
a second time?
He does.
28 minutes left. Sam tells us in case it matters. It doesn't. There's no way this goes to time. I don't think, Sam.
So there's the drain of 2, drain of 1 at Mustafar. Let's see if B does the Lor Santeca move. She should.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to. Who's his character in hand, though? Is it another?
Anakin.
It's not a General Solo. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's real good.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand like why he's not going to Lor Santeca move to do another point of damage.
I don't know what he's thinking here
Yeah.
because there's no way you're leaving those guys just sitting in front of Sidious,
Uh-uh.
and you're not battling against Sidious.
Uh-uh.
So you're gonna end up moving away anyways.
Uh-huh.
He
I
might
think
be
we're getting
asking
the
for
life
a
force
count
now.
and
Yeah.
see how close it is. Hmm. I think Brian's tanking a little bit. Like,
I
I
think
don't
it's.
know what your. The question is that a will handle this? That's the second card in.
I think so.
So is he thinking about maybe trying to use that and battle? No, yeah, you use Leia and then you handle
Yeah.
this to make it a drain of two. If you've got that,
Yeah.
that's a handle.
Yeah. That's what I'm
You
saying.
do that for
Uh,
sure.
Greg has 11 down, 7 in hand. I do agree with you, Piston, as well. Beef has 18 down, 4 in hand, so he's up
I mean,
by
he's already up
4.
and he's doing
Yeah.
a pretty good job. Okay, so it must not have been a handle, as
Oh,
he
it's a
just drained
barrier.
for one.
Barrier.
Okay, yeah,
Barrier, blue 11, Anakin,
leadership and
leadership.
Anakin. Ooh, that's
That's still a hand.
yeah. He's got enough to deploy whatever he needs to here.
I think you just go Anakin, fight Poe into Vader, get rid of Vader again.
Yeah,
You're probably not going to take any overflow.
you're certainly not if you leadership to draw two and they're both plus
Yeah.
one with Anakin.
Yeah.
Like you're fine
And
with
you
that.
because
You
you're
kill
retrieving,
Vader.
you retrieve one with Leia, you get rid of the Vader.
Yeah. And then you move
Uh,
Lor Santeca over and say, fine, drain for three and pay. Or drain for
yeah,
two and pay.
yeah.
Like I don't even think you need to land at Mustafar. Like there's no
Not at this point, no.
there's absolutely no reason to even risk opening that up. Because your landed starship is 0. He knows his destiny. Yeah, they're high enough that if he draws two and with Anakin, he will kill Vader.
Yeah.
Because Vader's only immune to less than 5.
Thank you, James, for subscribing
Looks
for
like a
40 months
BB-8
in a
in
row.
there.
Subscribing to the PC Switch channel is one of the best ways to support the PC and everything we do.
And Brian was thinking about deploying Anakin, maybe coming back from that. I still think deploying is the right thing to do. I think you go Anakin. You're probably not causing any overflow, and you're fine with that.
There's the
Although
Annie.
you are now subtracting 2 from his battle destiny as well.
Yes.
Like there's Anakin Skywalker. No Padme, though. It is the
Uh,
new Maul ship.
yeah.
Maul in Scimitar or whatever. Maul in something something.
Maul in Scimitar. That's all it is.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't Darth because when I tried to look up Darth Maul, Gemp was like, there's no ship. Like, you sons of Anakin to Mustafar to drain for +1. Yeah, but Anakin to kill Vader is
Oh, no, it's
way
Padme
better.
to Mustafar to trade +1, right?
No, it's Anakin or Vader adds an icon there. So it would have made it a drain of 2 because it would have been a 3 icon system at that point.
Yeah, but then you leave Poe out there to die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is Anakin's much better
Yeah.
there. And there's the retrieval. Yep. I said Anakin adds an icon, James. I was on top of that.
So he did retrieve there.
Yep, he battled for free, paid 1 to retrieve.
Yep, there's the leadership to add.
Leadership to add.
I think Greg has to throw the saber here.
I think it's I mean, it's a ship you don't give up. If you're playing ROTS Vader, you can't play Maul the character.
Yeah.
So you're not giving up anything by
Yep.
doing
Swings.
a Destiny 4 ship. That's an 8, so whoever he swings any hit.
I mean, he's
It's really the question is, does he have like a sniper combo right here?
I mean,
Because
he's still
that could
getting 2.
be
He's still getting 2 destiny.
No, if he kills Anakin, he's only getting 1.
Oh yeah, draws unable to otherwise. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, General Poe doesn't add 1. He's a and his greater total number of characters or starships. They have the same number. Like if he has the sniper, this is the play right here.
He does.
Oh, that was very good. That was very, very good for him. Now Brian needs to draw a 5. Like Brian's not going to take overflow here, fortunately.
No.
Like because he'll subtract 2 from Vader's draw. That is not the draw he needed.
I can't see what that is.
I have no idea. Vader's is a whatever.
Yeah,
Vader's is
Vader's.
Jendon and Shuttle.
Yeah.
So Vader should yeah, Poe covers. Now Vader dies. Or
But I
Vader
mean, I will
doesn't
say
die.
this: that's 2 less cards for Greg.
Yeah,
So
I'm like Greg can pay to drain for 1 there.
yeah,
And what is
I think B's going to move ships around and then land because the scimitar is the or not.
no, he's just swapping ships a little bit. I can't envision landing.
Honestly, like I wouldn't mind landing
Greg's
whoever's on
still
that
got
ship.
like 3 Greg's still got like 3 cards in hand. If you're not drawing
That,
Battle
yeah,
Destiny,
that's true. That's true. That's true.
you land them when Greg has no hand or some sort of, something close to that.
Yeah.
You're letting them go right now. Like right now, you just tell
Well,
Greg,
he's got a
okay,
barrier.
doesn't matter. You don't take that risk.
Yeah.
Like there's that sniper was big for Greg. I think it made him
Yeah.
feel like he has a chance. I don't
I
think
mean,
he
if
does
he
still.
draws anything less than an 8 there, like it's a
Yeah.
totally different situation. And who's blocking my camera?
Yeah. Someone's blocking the hand cam there. Um, yeah, because Greg doesn't have much left. And
Yeah.
he's still got to win by 6.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he gets there.
I mean, he was at 18, I want to say before the battle.
Brian was at 18.
No,
Greg was
Greg
at
was at 18.
like
Brian's
11
at
down.
20. No, Greg was at
Oh,
18,
total.
period.
Okay.
Brian's at was at 22 before all that.
Okay. So like
Brian is being tormented by a fly in the room. Well, no, I'm not gonna say it.
Greg just activated everything, which was 10.
Yeah,
So we'll see Adrena 2. Brian's actually got like Brian's
he's got some life force left.
yeah, he's
Greg's counting.
Brian looks like he's got like
Logic
12 left
hold.
plus what's in his hand. Brian is definitely up on force, up on cards. Because Greg has looked like he activated 10, and then he's got like maybe 4 in hand, and Brian's
Yeah,
got 12 down and another, 6-ish in hand.
yeah.
Brian is up on cards. Brian is doing a similar amount of damage right now, but he doesn't have to pay for it.
I don't think he's playing Blast Doors.
We haven't seen Blastor controls, but I don't know that he's playing it.
B-Fred is currently up by 3 combined.
And so
Thank you,
now
Phil.
so the Maul Scimitar is not an independent ship, so he doesn't get the extra from Wedge in ship. And Brian puts Walkling out of play to get a retrieval, just to get a card back.
Makes sense.
So what we're seeing right now is trying to turn this into a drain race.
It is a Trade Federation ship, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
So right now it's Brian doing 2 to Greg's 3.
yeah, but I
Oh,
feel
no, never
like
mind.
yeah, so now it's Brian doing 1,
Yeah.
which is fine. Like,
Who's that? Is that
I can't tell.
Okay, he
But
got
if
a
it's
Corvette back. He's just going to outpower him in space here.
yeah, I was gonna say he's just going. You just go hard in space. Like
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the pilot is on it.
On the Falcon,
No, on the scimitar.
Kylo.
Oh, it's Kylo. Okay, so
It's
Kylo does
Kylo and Akbar,
nothing.
the two characters out there.
Okay, so Kylo adds nothing. He just is
Yeah.
forfeit fodder.
Yeah.
So the scimitar you're talking about,
He's going to have to lose one to add Destiny
lose
to it.
one to either to add a destiny to power, otherwise you're at 4 plus battle destiny,
Yeah.
or try and make yourself immune, which doesn't feel good either.
Oh, that's big.
And
Thank you,
yeah,
James.
retrieving 2 is Kylo adds 2. Okay,
Yeah. No, well,
but
because of
the
Leia, you
yeah,
retrieve two against a first order character, and
yeah, and I think
last
you
time I checked,
still
Kylo's first order.
whatever character is in his hand, I think Brian you deploy.
Yeah.
Like just if
Uh,
it adds forfeit or
I
does
can't tell who
anything,
that is.
I'm not sure. And he might be sitting on waiting. Looks like it's a dual icon character. It's not like
Yeah.
Chewie or Tarfels, is it? Those would be weird.
I can't think of like any light side characters besides Chewie who like Chewie, Fen Rao, but it looks like it's an AI of some sort.
Yeah, I maybe
Okay,
another
Blue
land.
11. Don't hate that.
There's 4 for blue 11 there.
You
Okay.
retrieve Lando. I don't think he did.
Yeah, I was wondering Lando, but like I don't think he retrieved him.
Battles. Phase
Solo's
one.
not dual
Does
icon.
he missed Leia because it's two.
General
Yeah, he
resistance
got it now.
character, 2 if initiating against a first order character. Yeah, so it should have been 2. So we got it fixed.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, looks like Phil looked
All
at it.
right. And now does Greg lose one? I mean, Greg almost has to lose one to add to power.
Yeah.
Oh,
Solo.
solo is dual? Okay, so that could be a
No,
foil
it's not
solo.
Solo because Solo's right there.
Okay. Greg's deployed 5 characters this game. Gideon, Kylo, Aura Singh, Vader, and
There
Sidious.
twice.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
in chat, he said he only deployed 4. He's deployed 5, at least, because Aura came down as well.
No. Bowie is dual. Yeah, I just don't know if that's the AI Bowie that he's written on it or what.
So that Destiny at 1 is kind of bad, but he does cost. And I think if you're Brian, you got to move in front of Sidious. And then jump them both out, maybe. I don't. Okay, you land the Falcon with Akbar and then jump everyone in. Yep. So you're still forcing. Greg's down to 2 cards in hand.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Bowie.
Bowie
Chewie
is
with
Chewie
Chewie with
Bowcaster.
Bowcaster. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was like. I thought Bowie was one of the like random characters I forget about.
Chewie with Bowcaster. Solo. Bale is a two icon character.
Yeah, but it's certainly not Bale. Like,
Cal Kestis is a two character.
yeah. All right, so he's
Um,
moving the scimitar over, which makes sense because you certainly
I think
can't
it's
leave it
Cal
in front of
Kestis
there.
then.
Is Cal also alien though?
No, he's
Because it
Republic
was an
and
alien.
Rebel. You
I think it was
sure?
Chewie with Bowcaster. Yeah, it was definitely an alien.
It would make sense that it's Chewie with Bowcaster.
Yeah, that'd be a very reasonable card for it to be. Is Greg down to 6 cards down?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
But he's got like 3 in his hand.
and Brian reveals he's got pretty solid destiny in there.
Yeah,
Does he have a
Vader,
pilot to put on Gold Leader?
Bowie.
Honestly, that'd be enough. Like that might be it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true of Bowcaster, and
I
then
can't
5 would
tell.
make sense. I mean, 5 would make sense. It's certainly dual icon. It almost looks like it's Rebel and Alien, though. It doesn't look like it's. But he did pay 5 for it. I can't tell who that is. He's thinking about where to deploy it. You're not going after Vader. Don't.
No.
I mean, I guess honestly, like the more I don't actually hate Vader. Your Destiny are good enough to hit, which makes him forfeit 0, and suddenly you've
Yeah.
got a whole bunch of power. And with only 2 Destiny there, Greg's not swinging back. Greg can do a Battle Destiny and Greg can do a battle and an attrition Destiny. Yep, I think we're seeing a battle here.
Yeah.
So 4 and 4 is 8. Is Chewie? Did he run Chewie into just Sidious? No, Sidious is a just to exclude.
Yeah.
So we see
Vader
always
said,
2. No, he uses always 2
to
to
subtract or
stop
to go
to
to.
to
Yeah.
subtract. So, which is fine. You
But he
forced out
draws
another card.
5, and that's a 3
So he
and a
draws a 5,
1
which means
for
he's
Destiny.
eliminated.
So it's 4 total, which literally could be almost anybody there.
Yeah.
Vader, I mean, he's got to lose Vader here.
Yeah, I mean the 5 means he loses Vader,
Yeah, the
but he's
5
also
means
got to lose Vader to not. We got there a long time ago, Mike. Why are you here answering this and not telling
Hey,
us
whoa,
how
whoa, whoa, whoa!
current
You leave Mike Kessling
the pic?
alone.
I want to know how current that picture of Drew is. That's what I want from Mike Kessling. So everything else is secondary. I want to know how current that picture of Drew is.
Okay, so Lore Santeca goes. There goes Vader.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to
Couple
be.
last couple of years. No, no, no. We
Okay,
want
so
an
very
exact
current.
time and
No,
date.
very current is sufficient. I don't need a exact time and
Greg's
date.
got 8 total hand in life at this point.
At this point, I wonder, I think you take the Falcon back. I think I would have taken the Falcon back off. I'd add that drain. So
I don't. Never mind. I think Greg just scooped. So Brian Fred is your 2024
congratulations, Brian.
Continentals champion.
That
Congrats, Mr.
is
Fred.
that is awesome. I'm Brian is someone I consider a friend, and I'm super happy for him.
So let's do a quick interview, and then I'm also going to try and get B Fred onto a special episode of Hall of Theater this
Yeah,
week.
I would say, yeah,
Next
let's
week.
see if we can get him on see if you can get him on a Holo Theater.
Yeah, that was. I mean, both players played really well. Like
Yeah.
that first game was ridiculously well done. And honestly, when you lose to a good friend like Brian Fred, like Greg just lost to Brian Fred, I think you're more happy to be Fred than to it's like the distraught to losing.
Yeah, like you're not feeling that sad to lose to a good friend.
Not at all.
So here comes Brian to sit down and give us a
I'm
You
here.
sound exhausted. Turn to your right.
No, turn to my right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Turn to your left. One of these people will not graduate.
Oh, you got some whiteness in your beard there,
oh
sir.
God, I got a lot of whiteness in my beard. It's all because of these games I have to play against Greg Shaw.
Well, first of all,
it's also
congratulations
because
for
you're old,
winning.
Brian.
Huh?
It's also because you're old.
Yeah, I am old. Is this Garrett?
It
I
is.
know
It
Garrett's
is
definitely.
Garrett.
Yeah, definitely old. Oh
So,
man.
big congratulations. How does it feel?
I mean, it feels amazing. Like I it's just been a long time since I feel like I did really well at an event, you know, and tough competition all day.
Oh, I mean, you went through three teammates,
Eh,
unfortunately. You went through Sam, Bill, and then Greg.
Yeah, that was
You earned it.
Yeah, oh yeah, you hell earned it.
I mean, got a little bit of lucky. Played decks that I thought would do well. I mean, it came together. I don't know what else to say. I'm sort of still like, oh wow, because like I felt like I was on the back burner that entire game until it got close to the end of the game. There. I knew that
Yeah.
Obi-Wan and Poe Dameron battle could probably go real bad if he had the sniper, which I was sure he did, and he hit Anakin. So I just tried to make it so at least Poe Dameron would have forfeit because I knew I couldn't just like leave him there because I have no Hoojiks in the deck.
Oh wow, that's risky.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, what made you go with Old Allies today?
It's a deck that Carl Koenig and I last time I went to visit him and play test games. Like I mean, we talked about it too. I was really liking the Old Allies deck, and I showed Matt, and I'm pretty sure I showed the team, but I mean, it's not too. I'm pretty sure I showed the team. It's just that I can't remember at this point, but it just felt really good in playtesting. I mean, we changed some cards in it that they just didn't feel right. Like I started using the new Poe Dameron, so I just like the dash and speeder just didn't feel right anymore. So I went to dash the pilot because his game text is so dash B. His game text is just so freaking good, and it felt good. And I coming into the event. I hadn't really played any games. I haven't played in the last like 2.5 months in OCS, and Matt, I always want to prepare with Matt at least one weekend before we come, so that like he
Yeah.
feels like he's good, and I feel like I'm good. And the only deck I played like six. I played 3 games with speeders, and I guess like the 3 decks we thought would be the toughest, and lost all those games because I had high hopes for that. And then I played Watch Your Step, uh, 4 games, and there was one game I messed up against Return of the Sith where I just like went too fast, but it won all the other games and it felt really good. So I always was in on the Watcher Step, and then I told myself I was going to play the Old Allies if I made day 2. So like I was pretty much locked into my decks really really quickly after the first day. Partially because
So
I only had walkers for dark side, non-objective walkers, and that felt really bad. So I was like,
mhm.
well, I do like Charlie's ISB deck, so I was just like, I was like, we'll run that, and we'll run the Old Allies that I was always planning on running, and it worked out.
No, that's awesome, man.
My version of Emil's Old Allies deck that I stole from him after he played it in Outrider Cup. So some props to Emil.
Yeah.
I
How did Gammies do for you?
well, I don't know if that was the infamous toothbrush flip. Steve Brinson and I had a huge argument in Indianapolis, and basically after that, I was like, I thought we weren't going to be friends anymore, but we talked it out. And before he left, he said that if we had to play against each other, that we would just flip a coin instead of like letting it get like that heated. And he jokingly, when we were both 2-1, sat down at the table. He was like, "Well, we're both 2-1 and have to play opposite sides. So do you just want to do the coin flip now?" And I was just like, And we didn't even know we were playing at that point. I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, sure. And I look around, no coin. I saw a toothbrush that was still in its wrapper, and I was like, flip the toothbrush. I was like, you call bristles up or bristles down? And then he called bristles up, and I thought about it for a second. I was like, because the bottom weighs more, so I figured it would like mean something. I was like, I think you just got a really big advantage on that coin flip. But then the coin flip came up bristles down, so I was like, okay, I guess. And then when we got paired against each other, then he like went over there and just like reported the. I didn't even know like I was just joking. I didn't even know he was being serious, but he went over there and he's like, yeah, B Fred won. I was like, oh, okay. So you asked about Gamorreans. It felt really good. I 2-1'd. I decided to throw a game to Casey. I don't know if Casey's still in the room here. I decided I just didn't want to win that game by saving 2 force for my Thok and Thug. And he went out of play, and I got overflowed for 16, and that was it. So,
Nice.
I mean, it felt really good. I lost the one game because of my own stupidity, so. But yeah,
So how ready are you for Worlds?
Well, I mean, this was always going to be my my Worlds, one of my like prep days. I mean, I'll go and visit Matt again before Worlds, but this was going to be a big preparation. I had no delusions of grandeur about winning the event. I just wanted to like, play and, play well and just see what happened. And, I won. So it was like pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, how was it facing down against Greg Shaw in the finals? Like a really good friend, teammate for years.
I mean, it felt like we were both pumped because for one, we knew we finally were going to sneak past Team 5 and get a win here. And like both Greg and I haven't really done like great in events lately. Like I mean, like Indy, we both did like pretty mediocre, and I mean, I did well the first OCS month, but after that, I just didn't do too great. So I mean, it just felt good for like to feel like the two of us has like got back to the big time again, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, this is 2 straight majors for the new allies.
Oh yeah,
You guys got to be feeling good.
Yeah, San Juan Indy. So yeah, well I mean, yeah, definitely good. I mean, if any other team would have won, we would have all been super stoked for them. So
Yeah.
I mean, just I caught some breaks today. Like there was a lot of little things. I mean, that last game against Greg was like one of the toughest games I played, probably the toughest game I played the entire weekend. Where, like I said, I didn't think that I was going to be able to get him under the 5 from before the whole time. And I guess I didn't realize, Phil told me afterwards that he played handle to add 1 to the force drain. And I lost comm scan to the force drain instead of just canceling the handle. And then I was just like, oh my God. I was like, if Greg wins by like 1 because of that, I just like. So I was definitely during our game, I was thinking about that when it was like the game was so tight,
Yeah.
But
Well,
I mean, Old Allies is very much like the Palace Raiders deck to me, honestly, that I used to play. It's just like, it's just like a makeshift group of stuff that you just like make do with what you had. Like, I mean, I had stuff like Din Djarin piloting, just like all sorts of stuff that you just normally don't see in a game of Star Wars. Just like I was just making do with what I had. So I like kept losing all my characters off the top, but I drew like 3 ships in my opening hand. So I just had like 2 lone ships with no resistance guy on it. So I just had to hope that he didn't come up there and like clear all this stuff. Yeah, I was just basically making do the whole game with what I got. Corvette came out twice. Poe Dameron came out twice. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and that's all you can do sometimes.
I mean, yeah.
Nice. So, Mr. Fred, does this mean that you're going to come on Holo Theater when we have our next episode?
I mean, if you want me to come on Holo Theater, of course.
I
mean,
well,
I
yeah,
might.
you know what? Let's get you and Greg on.
That sounds good.
That would be fun.
I did
that's
start
gonna be a good
working
episode.
again full time, so
We'll figure it out.
yeah. I mean, I get off at like 10, so if you could like have like a 10:30 episode or something, like run it a little bit later, I'd be able to get on.
We'll talk.
Okay.
We'll be in communication. Carl says cinnamon rolls for everyone are on him.
Hell yeah. That's why we love Carl, and he's just an amazing guy. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Well, I'm not going to hold you much longer.
yeah, I need a cigarette after that game.
You
like,
need a
for sure.
cigarette. You need to get some dinner in you.
Oh,
Of
during
course.
like midway through that game, I was just like, it occurred to me that I had literally had I ordered DoorDash of Starbucks because I just forgot that there was a Dunkin' Donuts right down the street. So I paid
Yeah.
$40 for no reason for DoorDash basically, and I had 2 cream cheese danishes. As I was like the only thing I ate the entire day. So I started like struggling hard there during that game with like hunger. I was just like, oh god. And we had like a bug that's like swarming us. You probably saw us all
Yep.
swatting at the bug
Yeah.
the whole time.
I was wondering what you were doing. I thought you were
He's
telling
like on my
I thought you
beer
were trying
right
to swat
now.
away Greg.
Oh, he got away.
Trying to
Taco
swat away
Bell. Taco
Greg
Bell's
there.
coming in to get him. Nah, I missed him. Well, yeah, that bug. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard it show. No, you guys couldn't. There's no. You can't hear the voice on the stream, right? Like after Greg sniped my Anakin, show and thought came over, it was like you should have sniped the bug.
Oh, there was a lot of good banter in the chat. You'll have to watch the games at some point.
Oh, I always rewatch my games. You know,
Good.
I think the funniest moment for me, like for the weekend, was, I know you didn't ask, but the 2 games that I punted, that I think I at least would have beat Casey, and I think I could have beat Werfs if I would have punted the other game, were on the secondary stream, and I was on the side, we'll call it the left side of where the camera was.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Bill and I got paired there for our match, he was sitting on that side. I said on the first thing, I'm like, you know, I played 2 games on stream yesterday, and on this one I lost both of them. He's like, oh, that's pretty good for me then. I was like, yeah, but I was sitting on the side you're sitting on both times. He's over there packing up. He heard me.
Yeah.
But that was just.
Brian Fred things to say. You know the funniest thing I heard? I know you didn't ask, but.
Hey, Taco Bill's like, I didn't think that was funny.
Taco
Taco Bill also got worked by Dash. So I told Greg about it, and Greg was like in the hallway. Greg's like, so the first time I see Dash, I just need to target killing that guy.
I killed him.
Yeah.
Did you? I think Dash just like, yeah. Yeah, Dash and Ahsoka both put in work, which were both either on the fence or got added the last, one of the last cards that got added.
Well, B, you go enjoy yourself tonight. Have fun. Get something good to eat, because you sound like you're hungry.
Oh my God! Well, I don't know where we're going, but I always enjoy the food that we get when we go for team dinner.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, you go enjoy as a team. Celebrate this victory. We will talk to you later.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for doing commentary all day. The men behind the screen, is that what I don't know. But thank you guys. Appreciate you guys and all the hard work you guys did all weekend.
Awesome. Thank you.
You too, man.
Okay, well, that was B Fred, and that was all we have for the 2024 Continental Championship. Again, Worlds is next month, so make sure you guys tune in, follow along on that. It's going to be an amazing event. If you can go. Garrett, it is always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us this weekend. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Always a blast. It's, we had a good time. Hopefully you can get on stream at Worlds so I can make fun of you.
No, not going to happen. So until then, everybody, take care, enjoy yourselves, and everybody, may the force be with you. Take care.
Bye.